8HVDES. Welcome to my channel.
Hey everybody, this is Mega Anime.
And Sylvie Sommers, how is everyone tonight?
We're in the spooky mood, like
Always.
usual. And we're playing Tiny Bunny. I'll be the little voice characters.
And I'll do the narrating and the main character.
So, sit down, relax. Do some art, or listen to and watch the story.
I wouldn't try falling asleep to this one.
Because you don't know what will happen next. Let us begin.
Where we be? Oh, okay. Alright, episode 3. On end, the wolf's gray fur will stand.
Some flowers. And let's begin. So, update. There was a boy that was missing at the very beginning. And it's...
00 Rihanna. Welcome to my channel.
Hi, welcome. So, the kid that was missing from the beginning,
Vovo.
Vova.
Yeah, Vovo was missing for the one with the cat. He was missing at the beginning. We met up with a fox,
Yes, a girl in a fox mask.
and we got beat up by...
This kid who mysteriously went missing.
He took
The
our
day
glasses.
after.
He took the main character's glasses and everything like that, and the owl that's been terrorizing your baby sister brought back the glasses. So, we're pretty much going to be starting off with the missing posters now. He's the one who hated Berberin. You think he did it? I've heard he's a weirdo.
I hurriedly rubbed my glasses. The glasses! Semyon was clutching them in his fist while I was getting beaten up. And in just a couple of hours, this lost item was laying on the ledge of my window. It was hard to imagine that Syoma suddenly got guilty conscience and returned my glasses, and in such a strange way. I was shocked, but kept walking through the classroom, accompanied by nasty whispers all around me. That photo still stood before my eyes. Semyon had gone missing. Semyon is gone.
Dun dun dun!
Serves him right, little shit.
Yeah, pretty much. One character I wasn't really happy making voices for. I was trying to go for
They
Cartman.
used quite a few slurs.
Yeah, I'm not really... I do cuss, but I try not to cuss on this channel. But it sometimes happens, so bear with me.
I should probably stop cussing on this channel. Sorry. Not really.
By the way, I have dyslexia, just to give you a heads up. So if I mess up on the line, bear with me. I try not to, but nothing I can do about it. But let's get back into the story.
His fat fingers will never get to my throat. His signet ring won't smash into my chin. He'll never humiliate me again. Wasn't that what I wished for? On the other hand, did I really wish Semyon to become a murky stain on the notice board? He was still someone's son or a grandson, and he went through the same struggles as me. Did I really wish for my unseen companion to dispatch him in such a brutal fashion? I didn't know the answer. Or I was just scared of it. Nonetheless, school still had something nice about it. Polina, the girl with a violin, was like a mountain spring, like well water that you gulp down, pressing your lips against the zinc outer ring of a bucket, and can't ever get enough. What if I make her one of the characters in the story I'll draw? The protagonist will save her from terrifying monsters. As soon as I thought of monsters, a bunch of my classmates slid down the rails, smirking like the xenomorphs from the Alien. I immediately felt larvae of fear writhe in my stomach. I didn't want to cross paths with Romka and Biasha after what happened yesterday, especially since Semyon suddenly went missing. I entered the classroom and went toward the last row. All of the clatter suddenly died down, so I walked there in complete silence. It felt like my classmates pushed and poked me with their stares. They carefully observed my every move. They looked at me with mortifying mix of pity, ridicule, and derision, like a scientist looks at an ugly representative of a newfound species of worms. I stared at the desk with a huge pile of library textbooks on top, my fists clenched. It felt like I was the one who disappeared in that snowy forest, and my desk was finally used for something worthwhile. Semyon's empty chair stood in front of me. The chair that once belonged to Vova gathered dust somewhere in another classroom. Well, I guess we see it. After a moment of hesitation, I sat down at Baburin's desk, the place where I was supposed to be assigned by Lilia Pavlovnova at first. The chatter resumed, as if someone just unpaused a movie. Oh, your turn.
Barbara's grandma made such a fuss when he didn't return home. First she ran to the school, then called the cops. Yes.
Katya snuck a cunning glance at me, then leaned into her neighbor and whispered something. Little bitch. Girls from the second row also leaned in. She shared something with them too. Whispers, nods.
Beastmaster Demos said, "Hello again."
Hi, Beast! I kept catching her stare on myself. Her neighbors stared too. The whole class was watching me. It was like they felt the need to watch me because they were searching for traces of blood on my fingers. I wanted to defend myself and shout, "Guys, listen, I'm innocent!" The delinquents turned around and stared at me in silence. Their looks were dripping with malice. But why? What did I do to them? Their friend went missing, and they're still focused on me. Suddenly, I noticed Biasha drilling a hole in my nose with his eyes. I felt like he was about to point his finger at me and shout at the top of his lungs. "Everyone, look! Baburin snatched his glasses yesterday, and now he has them back! Murderer!" But he remained silent, as if there was nothing special at all about my glasses. I may be going mad, but I think Biasha knows something. He knows something, but won't tell me what. As if looking for protection, I clutched the ruler until my hand hurt.
You don't have to be Columbo to solve this. Who held a grudge against Baburin? who hit him yesterday, bullied him, and then...
The metal ruler fell out of my weak fingers. It hit the floor with a jingle, and that made the other kids shudder.
I think I should make her... I need to fix her voice and make it more irritating.
Yeah. Careful, though. I might just hit you since I can't hit her.
Don't do that. I do a great job because I get punched
This
in
is
the
all my
face.
fault for being like, yes, blood!
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were the blonde.
The Master Moose said, ha ha.
Katya bit her tongue and squirmed nervously. Chairs scraped against the floor. My classmates moved away from me, closer to the exit, toward the teacher's desk. I was not the only one to catch wind of that change. Ramka and Biasha looked around and winced in contempt. Too bad that they weren't afraid of me like everyone else.
Shut it. I bet you Barbara just got a whooping from his old hag and ran off.
I bet he's one of the creatures.
Well, maybe.
Biasha?
They'll all find him soon. They'll find him, all right. Hey! Stop hitting me. I'm kidding.
Square up!
In a ravine with his stomach cut open.
I gulped. That was oddly specific, wasn't it?
Yeah, like... Oh, yeah, that's the first thing that popped in my head, how
Christ, lady.
he died.
For real. I imagine Sioma on a snowy blanket, his face, white like a fish belly, split down the middle by the crevice of his mouth. Snowflakes falling on his glassy eyes and filling up his throat. See? I could almost hear his condescending tone. It's all your fault. But why was Semyon the only one to get his just desserts for bullying me? Weren't all of them supposed to disappear? Ramka, Biasha, Katya, along with every laughing onlooker. Of course, Semyon did me a favor by disappearing. Thanks to him, my classmates now stared at me in awe. But that was only one side of the coin. What if I'll have to repay that favor soon? The door creaked. Polina entered the classroom. I straightened up in a hurry so she wouldn't see me looking like a scared critter. Paulina went to her seat without even looking at me. The ringer's trill announced the start of the class.
All right, stop messing around and class starts up. Class, stand up. You too, Petrov.
Lilia Pavlinova went to her desk, followed by a policeman in a uniform. It was the man that visited us just recently, tall, and his stare so sharp you could get cut on it.
Hello there, kids. Hi. You can sit down now, kids. This is Senior Lieutenant Condition. I'm gonna...
Konstantin Vladimiro... Hold up. I got this. Okay. Konstantin Vladimirovich Tikhonov. Yes, nailed it.
Yeah, that's what he is. This is Senior Lieutenant Konstantin. There you go.
Yeah, that's about all we got.
He's going to ask you a couple of questions and give you a small PSA.
The class livened up. Talking to a policeman was way better than studying. I, on the other hand, was ready to sit through hundreds of hours of Russian literature just to escape the lieutenant's oppressive stare. Can I just say that I am jealous of these children? They probably get to read Crime and Punishment in school.
Probably.
But I want to read... I have to find Crime and Punishment, and I'm going to read it. But knowing my luck, I'll buy it, and it'll be in Russian, and I just... Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, perfect sense. It's kind of interesting that he's looking directly at the main character.
Yeah, well, he kind of suspected him from the beginning with the way he was acting, you know? Sorry, got hot. I have to take my sweater off.
I'm blind!
Oh,
Ah!
please.
Bleach! It's the parents'
Don't
tape!
you give them the wrong idea.
It's the parents' tape again!
You don't know if there's weirdos here. It's just a tank top. Okay, so next.
Wait, did we have a thing that popped up?
Maybe. Columbo, an American crime drama television series starring Peter Falk as Columbo, a homicide detective with the Los Angeles Police Department. I thought that sounded familiar.
Yeah. Thank God, he's still alive!
I mean, even though he does look into, like, deaths.
Yeah. Everyone else is dead in this game. Singer dead, band member dead.
All, like, it was like two of the three of that boy band.
Yep. It's like, wow, might as well just have everyone dead in this.
Yeah, really. His brown eyes felt around the classroom, looking for me. Hair stood on the back of my neck, and an icicle had lodged in my gut.
So, if you remember the alley where you meet up with the Fox girl?
He does look like that guy. And also, they did mention that the kid's dad got into trouble. And that's why they moved.
Yeah, so...
So maybe he got... Bro, what if he's Russian mob?
The kid?
No, the police officer.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
The kid is not Russian mob.
He's an undercover, what are they called? Not secret
He's
agent.
mastermost, said the kid. LOL.
Yes, Anton is a fucking mobster. Gosh, no.
No, what are they called?
Give him one of those thick chains and a tracksuit.
Those agents that, what are they called? They don't know they're agents until a phone call comes and a memory comes back.
Sleeper agent?
Yeah, sleeper. Something like that. So, he's a sleeper, man.
Yes. You know, okay, but you might be onto something with those meds and shit.
The meds make him a sleeper.
Yes. They're dosing him so he doesn't remember his crimes.
It is true that Barbaron got killed by a serial killer. Shush, Krishna. Let the adults ask questions here. We're all scared. Maybe the killer's somewhere close. Maybe they're even sitting among us.
Among Us.
Among Us! We gotta play the game.
Her sly stare was directed at me. I'm sorry, is she flipping him off right now?
Pretty much.
Tikhonov stepped in between the rows of desks and started walking at an excruciatingly slow pace, brushing his fingers against the chairs as he passed by.
Smacking the kids when he passed by.
Duck, goose! Some of the students almost broke their necks following his movements. That's how a crowd of commoners would gleefully accept a public execution in the Middle Ages.
Yeah, he just goes up to these kids and starts snapping necks.
You're all witnesses.
You saw something!
And he just walked, getting closer and closer to me. I gritted my teeth to stop myself from screaming. Calm down. Breathe. You didn't kill or kidnap anyone. Weird that he went to kidnapping. He already knew the answer to his question, but the policeman still asked in a stern voice.
Well, it's still interesting that he went to kill, too.
Well, yeah, but
Because I can understand the kids being kidnapped.
Yeah, but one can assume that they're dead. I mean, all of them are assuming that they're dead.
Well, yeah. But, like, pretty much... like, any of that, like, oh, he's dead. Dead. He's gotta be dead because he's not here. No, he's not sick or anything, or...
Well, I mean, when you hear a missing persons case, your first inclination is to think, yep, they're dead.
VMYK. Welcome to my channel.
Hi, welcome.
Anton Perverov.
Yes.
Stand up, Perverov.
My muscles turned to stone. I got up, unglued myself from the chair. I felt like I could hear all my joints creak in the process.
Hold the sign that says you're the killer, and then we'll take a picture.
Yeah, well, we're just gonna get a couple shots of you, kid.
You might be next.
I only wish that Paulina wouldn't turn around and see the grimace of horror on my face. If only I could be somewhere far away, in the forest, digging myself into a pile of snow, rolling up into a ball there. It's just downright fucked up that they're sitting here cornering this kid in the middle of class.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like, what exactly...
Nobody has any fucking proof. It's just because he's new there.
Yeah.
This is such horse shit.
Well, I wonder if the cop is more worried that he's going to be the next one being taken.
The way he was acting, yeah.
'Cause,
Honestly, because, like, he reminds him so much of his nephew.
Yeah, and...
You know there was a bear. What if the cop was the bear?
Well, I wonder if the fat kid is a bear.
Or Biasha, yeah.
Because there's a bear, a fox, a wolf, an owl...
And the bunny, which is the kid.
The bunny, and... I think there's one other one.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just name off some animals. A deer.
There was
a
probably a
female
deer Ray, a golden drop of sun.
Me, I need my cold.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going with that if we don't stop now. Alright.
Evan_mu. Welcome to my channel.
Welcome!
Mark Zane. Welcome to my channel.
Welcome to the channel.
Welcome as well. The officer stared at me as if he was about to lock a pair of handcuffs on my wrists. I wondered how cold these bracelets are to the touch. I imagined myself getting jailed and put into juvenile detention center, where tens of simians would constantly harass me. I don't know anything. I have nothing to do with this.
Nobody is accusing you of anything. For now.
Yeah,
Really?
horse shit. Just sitting there locking onto this poor kid in front of the entire class.
For now. The poor kid. It's like, jeez.
Christ. Only then I noticed a file that said case number in his hand. It had a gray cover made from a rough carton. It flopped onto the desk like a guillotine blade that slid down on someone's neck. With a measured motion, Tikhonov opened the file, still studying me with his gaze. I caught a glimpse of documents and photos. They showed prints on the snow. They looked like animal prints.
Have you talked to Simeon Barbarin before? No, his fist talked to my face, though.
Yeah, and his spit to my mask.
Yeah.
Blech. I only knew him for a week.
Everyone knows that Poirot hated him.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Nobody's talking to you.
Everyone knew. I'm such a special girl.
Such a special, special little girl, yes. I turned red. You ugly bitch. I wanted to sink my teeth into Katya's face and chew out her cheek. Instead, I replied with the calmest voice I could muster. We had a fight yesterday. But he started it. So I hit him.
How hard did you hit him?
Not very.
Hard enough that he got a concussion. There you go.
Hard enough it made him angry.
Yep.
Not that hard. I mean... I waved my hand indecisively. Tikhonov looked at my fist as if he was surprised that I managed to hit that big kid from the photo. Surprisingly, Lilia Pavlovna came to my rescue.
Welcome to my channel.
Welcome!
Hello. Barbara is a terrible teen. A true pain in the rear.
The officer replied with a meaningful nod and fished out a notebook out of the file. Uh-oh. That would be his.
Is this yours? Oh, the notebook
That fell out of his bag.
backpack.
Help. I averted my gaze. It was a math notebook with my name on it. My classmates devoured me greedily with their eyes. It felt like even the writers on the portraits squinted at me in suspicion. Yes.
We found it in the forest. In the area where the tractor driver... Wouldn't it be tracker dogs? But
Tractor driver.
tractor driver who was plowing snow there last saw Barbara.
I stared blinkingly in bewilderment. Romka ransacked my school bag. This notebook probably just lost somewhere in the bushes. The lieutenant knew about the school brawl, but was he aware of the fight in the forest clearing? Yeah, fight my ass. You got your ass kicked.
And also threatened by a knife.
Yeah, no kidding. Christ. I had witnesses that could testify to Semyon and I walking in different directions after that. But would they? I looked toward the boys, hopeful. Romka, who sat behind Tikhonov, put a finger to his lips. Well, that answers that. And when the officer quickly turned around, he pretended to pick his nose. Ew, okay, well that's one way to do it.
I'm looking for gold, I swear.
I deciphered his signal. Boys like Romka would probably say something like snitches get stitches in a situation like this. I frantically fixed my glasses. Wait, Semyon took them away yesterday and now they're...
So what were you doing in the forest yesterday, Anton?
I go to school through the forest. It could have easily fallen out of my backpack. Easily. Just like me producing this half-truth.
Can I have it back?
No, because it's evidence.
Be careful out there.
Before I could realize whether it was a genuine piece of advice or a veiled threat, the teacher said,
Class, the officer will now tell you about some rules you should follow. So the killer does exist?
Why are you so excited, you little weirdo?
We can't make any of
Okay,
these.
that's Tikhonov.
Oh.
Tikhonov.
Oh, come on!
I could just... The image is disturbing. I don't like that.
Really?
I don't like
the
that.
The older guy. Well, we can't make any of the public for now. We can't make any of this public for now. Okay.
You say after interrogating a kid in front of a full classroom.
Whether the criminal really exists or not, you should be mindful of your safety. The police, your parents, and your teacher all watch over you, but no one guards you better than you yourself. Alright? Any questions?
A stockade of arms rose from the desks.
Dude, I was just guessing on that one and I derailed my head.
My thing is, like, what kind of rules or advice was that? That was so half-assed.
I'm more surprised he doesn't put, like, a time thing. You have to be home by this time.
A curfew.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like a curfew would be the normal thing to implement in this situation. I don't know, maybe he's getting to it.
Because, like, you think of all these two kids, all these kids that are missing. These two kids that are missing might be a curfew just for the cops to make sure that nothing else, not another kid gets stolen.
Yeah.
Or killed. Bum, bum, bum.
We're found in a ravine with his stomach cut open, Katya. You fucking weirdo.
Obviously.
The kids shouted over each other, swarming the policeman with questions.
Can I hold your gun?
Yeah, right? I bet you he gets that a lot, though.
Yeah, most likely.
In an attempt to calm down that chorus, he moved toward the blackboard. I can't
Put his
believe he
nails
just
on it.
left that on his desk.
For a threat.
Yeah, really.
Put his nails on the chalkboard.
Oh, I don't like that. Even you making that noise. I don't like that. Squeaky.
Squeaky.
The gray file was left lying in front of me.
Yeah, I don't get why you did that.
That's not a good idea. The kid could just tamper with the evidence.
Well, that and also it's more of a here's a threat. I hope you like being threatened by a cop that's pretty much going to talk to you, the rest of the kids in the classroom.
I don't know. I feel like maybe he left it there on purpose.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't really think that the kid did it. Like he's giving him an opening to look through the case file.
Maybe.
Anyway, I stared at it, my breathing so ragged that it might have looked like someone who just ran a 100-meter sprint. Beads of sweat rolled down my back. I looked around the classroom. My classmates were catching officers' every word. Only Ramka was saying something to Biasha.
Welcome to my channel.
Welcome! Lilia Pavlovnova was staring into the window, fighting back yawns. I guess we'll just open it.
Слишком мало времени прошло с момента исчезновения вашего одноклассника. Мы все уверены, что он найдется живым и здоровым.
Sorry, I have to check something. Nobody paid me any mind as I slowly opened the file. My fingers started sifting through the documents. Ksenia Talaleva, 6 years old, Left her home sometime in December. Identifying features, okay. Doesn't she look like Paulina?
Yeah.
My heart almost jumped out from the ribcage. A round-faced girl no older than Olya smiled at me from the photo. The first victim of a serial killer? The first child to disappear in the forest without a trace. I turned another page. Vladimir Makuitin, 10 years old. Vova was the second.
And so was his cat. No.
Yeah, right? Poor kitty. His mitten hanging from the branch. His name called out by desperate adults and repeated by the sneering echo. Lilia Pavlovnova coughed, trying to calm down the rowdy students. I yanked my hand away, and the file closed. Guess we'll open it again? Oh, hold on, before you do that. The officer turned his back to the class and started writing on the blackboard with a piece of chalk, producing nasty screeching sounds. Don't you do it, Meg. Don't you do it. You're gonna start a tick attack.
I'm not gonna do it.
Thank you.
I already did it earlier. Strangers. Almost everybody knows each other in this village, so the outsiders normally stand out.
You assholes.
If you see a stranger,
The officer started squeaking with a piece of chalk again, and I, after making sure nobody was watching me, opened the file and took out the photos that were hidden at the bottom. The artery-like roots, stumps and charred pines cut down by lightning, and snow, lots of snow. Then, a black building that immediately gave me the chills. Yet, it wasn't a crypt. It was a garage.
dun dun dun. Why is there a garage in the middle of nowhere?
For murder, obviously.
Well, no.
Murder garage.
Put a little sign up. Ah, a little to the left. Yes, my murder garage is perfect. Just like my candy
What is
van.
the saying? Home is where the bodies are buried?
Yep.
Yes.
I have closets full of skeletons.
Hey Meg, what's the difference between a Porsche and a pile of dead babies?
I don't want to know.
I don't have a Porsche in my garage.
Got a bunch of babies though.
A box made from steel, standing amidst the thicket, judging by the trees all around it. Those black gates were almost sucking me in. My fingers trembled, and the photo glided through the air back to the file. Thank God it landed upside down. That steel box was just too unsettling to look at. There was also a plastic bag at the bottom of the file, the type used to store evidence. Don't you tamper... Boy, that is tampering with the evidence of an investigation.
Yeah, no
You are
kidding.
going to federal prison. I opened it.
Of course I
You
did.
idiot. And inside it, a finger!
With a ring.
Was a severed finger. I blinked and the mirage dissolved.
Oh, come on. They should have kept the finger.
Right?
That would be more
Who's mastered the
traumatizing.
most? Said.
You know, with anything that small, if you put it... This is really weird. I'm kind of into taxidermy. Don't judge me, okay? But, like, with anything small enough like that, you put it in a little fucking salt over some time, and it'll preserve it. It'll fucking mummify it. So technically, yes, they could keep it without destroying any evidence or DNA.
True.
Technically.
And then they can put the salt in on their food.
No. No, Meg. No.
What were you going to say? I do that all the time.
Yes, yes. Okay, dead ass. There is a snake head in my freezer right
Eating
now.
Master
That
Moses said,
forbidden salt.
Kids, this is only for mommy and
So
daddy.
this is actually how they get the pink salt. You know, the Himalayan salt. It's not Himalayan salt. It's taxidermy salt. Bon appetit.
No, dude, now you're gonna traumatize people right with that one.
Well, you shouldn't be eating that stuff anyway. It's got some sort of, like, chemical in it that's really bad for you.
Oh, that's why it's pink.
Well, okay.
From the Red Sea.
Yes. Yeah, don't eat it. It's not good. Don't eat that. Also, don't lick your salt lamp. First-hand experience.
Stay away from my salt lamps, please.
I was curious.
I want to know what it tastes like. That's why they say wash
I was
it.
unmedicated when this happened, okay?
I'm sure it tastes delicious. I'll put some on my food next time.
Well, yeah, so, like, the cats won't even lick it, so I feel like I shouldn't either.
That's really sad that your cats are smarter than you about licking stuff.
Well, at least I'm not stupid enough to put it in the dishwasher like that one person.
Somebody put it in the dishwasher?
Yeah, where'd my lamp go? It's salt, bitch. It's not there anymore.
Oh my god. I just wanted to make sure it was clean. Well, it's clean now.
Yeah, cleaner than it's
God.
ever been. Okay. Alright. I blinked and the mirage dissolved. I couldn't see a cut-off body part. There was only a signet ring inside. Stunned by that fleeting hallucination, I almost felt like I was transported back to the forest and heard Semyon's words. I can read this one since you don't like saying that.
I'll hit your faggot face so fucking hard.
You did it this time! The ring was giving off a faint glow on top of my palm. I panicked and squeezed the evidence in my fist, as if trying to assure myself it was real. Uh-oh. I clanged my teeth from surprise, pushed myself into the back of my chair, blinking in bewilderment.
Well, that's what you get when you leave evidence with a kid.
Yeah, I thought he'd left it with him on purpose. The officer silently gathered the documents and gave me a stern look.
Would you like the ring back?
I kind of touched this. Now you can't use it. Sorry.
Well, aren't you a curious boy, pervert?
I tried my best to squeeze out an apology and return the ring. Oh, by the way, his name is said Petrov.
Petrov.
Mhm.
I keep calling him...
You
every
keep
time
mumbling over his name.
Yeah, Petrov. Well, I'm glad I'm mumbling, because every time I say it, it sounds like pervert.
Yes. Petrov.
Pervert!
Pervert!
Curious boy, aren't you, pervert?
I tried my
Being
best to
Master
squeeze...
Moses said, ha.
I tried my best to squeeze out an apology and return the ring. But I only managed to hold out a clenched fist with the ring inside, and started rumbling like Dad's car engine when it started cold.
You know what they say. Oh, no, not the cat thing. Ignorance is bliss.
Here. He went toward the blackboard without looking back while I was still clenching this stolen piece of evidence, thinking about Semyon. So he did leave it with him on purpose.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's asking the kid to prove his innocence. Or hide the case.
Yeah.
A boy that was already most likely dead.
And we don't even know what he said on the chalkboard. Probably, like,
I wonder.
strangers and stuff like that.
I'm going to take a picture. I have a translate function on my phone. I'm going to take a picture and see if it'll do it. I've been looking at a lot of stuff by Fyodor Dostoevsky lately, which, you know, is requiring me to use my translate filter. Okay. Let's see. Is that in gallery? Yes, that's in gallery. Let's see if it'll do it. Nope. Picture's too blurry, it says.
Hmm.
Oh well.
Do you need the light turned on?
Mm-mm. I just spilled a little bit of my alcohol. There we go. Good thing you've got this thing covered in a plastic sheet.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and read that. I'll get to my part when it comes.
Let me say this again. If you see anyone suspicious in the village, be it near the school or on the forest trail, contact the police immediately.
I swear to
You know our number, right?
I swear if these little brats just call every time this kid gets out of school and walks home,
That would be horrible.
I would be mad. I would be like calling parents and be like, look, your kid calls me again with this crap.
There's a fine!
Yeah, really.
We do fines now! And if your kid calls me again, he's not the only one that's going to be lost in the forest.
Damn. Damn.
02! Thanks for listening, boys and girls. Thank you, Levla.
Lilia Pavlovnova.
Thank you, Levia Pavlova.
Good night. It's night time. It's time
Shut
to go
up!
to bed.
No, it's not. Sorry.
And, we'll find your classmate.
Yeah, right. A thought flashed through my mind. Dig through enough ditches and maybe you'll be able to piece him together. Like Legos. My thoughts turned evil for some reason, and I couldn't control them. I tried to switch to the lieutenant's speech about suspicious individuals. What if I saw the killer before? What if I was a hair's breadth away from them? Suspicious people. How suspicious was the fox girl that wandered into the darkness? A weirdo that always appears out of nowhere and then dissolves into thin air with her riddles and rhymes. Could she really harm the hulking Semyon? Should I tell the officer about her? What if lives of other kids depend on this? Of the cute Ksenia and Vova too? Wait, what if I get mocked for speaking out? What if they'll start whispering behind my back, or what's even worse, think that I'm insane? Romka gave me a stern look over the shoulder. I doubt someone like him would approve of cooperating with the police.
And then he picked his nose again. No.
Yeah, really. Katya's braid dangled nervously behind the delinquent sitting in front of me. My hand was glued to the desk. Tikhonov was saying goodbye to Lilia Pavlovnova. He was about to leave. Just go talk to him at the station later, kid.
Yeah, no kidding.
It'll be too late soon. What were we telling him again?
About the fox, or...
He's gonna look crazy. I have a feeling no one can see her but him.
Probably. So, should we stay silent?
Yeah. No way. I've had enough of humiliation. I'll keep my head down, like a bunny.
Oh, I should have saved.
Damn it, we keep forgetting to do that. I locked my fingers and zipped my mouth. The bell rang.
Avoiding everyone's attention.
Lilia Pavlovnova passed by without looking my way. Polina left after her. My classmates were silent at the same time, as if someone muted the sound on a TV. Excuse me. They followed me with their eyes the whole time I was passing between the rows. Judgmental looks. I felt like I was on the scopes of many sniper rifles. I squeezed through the barricade made of desks, looking for Polina.
Polina, my love, come
But
back.
I stumbled into my new buddies instead. Romka swaggered up to me.
Decide to rat us out to the cops?
I didn't say anything.
But sure as fuck the thought about it, eh?
Romka towered over me, breathing out a faint smell of tobacco.
You're very wrong. You're very wrong if you think that without Simone, you'll have a better time here. We'll make this place hell for you. Got it? See you, Four Eyes.
My head tilted forward from his slap.
That's nice.
What a loser, eh?
I wasn't surprised to find a note stuck to my back during break. It said, "Kick me." My nightmare clearly wasn't about to end. It's been 7 days since the lieutenant visited our class. At first glance, everything was still the same. The forest still held out its gnarly claws toward the village, and the wind whipped up white flags weaved from powdery snow every night. When my parents argued in the other room, I would turn up the TV's volume to silence their muffled voices and sit close to Olya.
You okay?
Volva's and Semyon's photos were still 2 black spots on the notice board, and round-faced Senya hasn't returned home, too. But something did change. I could see how different the looks of my classmates were. They met me with a new portion of pokes and insults. Contempt, mockery, and loneliness became my faithful companions. But most importantly, a shadow slid across my desk, leaving behind a mysterious note. I glanced into the space between rows, but the messenger was already nowhere to be found. Who sent me this note? What could this carefully ripped out and neatly folded piece of paper be hiding from me? More threats and humiliation, or... I took the piece of paper and carefully inhaled the wafting aroma. Blackberry. Inside was a message in beautiful handwriting. I'm waiting at a dead end near the dressing room. Come alone. Drunk on that sudden call, I immediately started walking, looking over my shoulder from time to time, making sure nobody is following me. Even though I suspected it could be another trap set up by Romka and Biasha at first, this buzzing thought soon left my mind.
And yet their handwriting is so beautiful. Magnifique.
It's definitely Paulina, but I feel like she's setting him up.
Hopefully not.
I didn't trust her from the beginning. The two of them didn't have enough combined brain power to fake Paulina's note so carefully. I didn't even notice how I almost broke into a run and jumped around the corner. As soon as I did that, I rammed into someone inside the dark nook. Ow! Oh, sorry.
Ow!
Like a magic bird, a green note glided to my feet. Paulina puffed her cheeks in exaggerated anger.
Petrov, have you lost your sight completely?
I fixed my glasses. My nearsightedness wasn't that embarrassing anymore. I bent down and picked up the notebook. Sorry, I was in a rush. Were you waiting for me? Did something happen? Paulina studied me with her eyes and clicked her tongue.
Do you know what you look like, Antasha? Antasha? ... Like blues improv. Like blues improv. Okay.
I blinked in bewilderment. What do you mean?
I always associate people I know with something.
I do that too, but why music?
It can't be anything other than music. Some people are like guitar solos. Some are drums. People like our Lilia Pavlovna are war machines.
War marches.
War marches. And you're so thoughtful and mysterious. Sometimes even a bit sad. You're definitely blues.
And what about the improv part?
It's when the listener has no idea where the melody will go, what tempo it will attempt.
Of course, some of the things Paulina said went completely over my head. But I couldn't stop looking at her smile, like a breeze in May, and her eyes, deep and blue.
One needs to have experience and taste to recognize the music in you. You're not some pop music.
I don't think I even know what blues is. Paulina gasped and frowned, which made her look even more beautiful.
Don't say something like that to my face. I'll make sure to give you a cassette. Grandpa used to bring me so much music from the city. Jazz, swing, and classic too. He was the one to notice my musical mindset. When I was still very young, I tried recording the sound of nature on paper. The songs of the river, the rain, the song of the rain and the forest.
I wish I had ears like yours.
And I love to have your eyes.
I tensed up, worried that she was making fun of me, but Paulina shook her head.
No, I'm serious. You have the eyes of an artist.
Definitely not using this as inspiration for my fiction with Yui and Theodore. You know, him being a cellist and her being an artist.
Yeah. You're so good at picturing things. I can't do that.
How does she know all this? Oh, here's Katya the bitch. Katya
going.
watched past us with her trademark frosty glare. We dove into the shadows, trying to escape it.
You understand why we're hiding here, right? Because of people like her.
And what kind of melody is Katya? Paulina flashed me a sly smile.
A squeaking sound of a unoiled door hinges. Blech. A squeaking sound of unoiled door hinges. You know, this nasty
I think it's descant.
descant. I have no idea what that would be, but
It's a fancy word. I giggled, covering my mouth. Katya didn't hear our whispers, but she suddenly glanced over her shoulder, clearly annoyed. A moment later, she sighed and went her way. I don't like that look on her face. I mean, she's always got that look on her face, but I remembered about the notebook I was still clutching in my hand. I turned it in my hands. Instead of a subject name, the front side had the name of the owner in 2 words. Friends only.
Curiosity killed the cat, you know.
I'm sorry, is this a questionnaire?
Have you ever filled one?
I lied that I had. In reality, girl classmates from my previous school had never asked me to fill out their questionnaires. It was quite upsetting. Is that a normal thing in Russia? I mean, it was a girl hobby. You just answer a set of standard questions about your favorite actors and colors, but entrusting someone with such a notebook was the sign of friendship.
Maybe it's like that paper thing that you...
Well, yeah, okay, but it's like basically like a personality quiz, sort of. Like, are we going to get to be like? Are we going to get along? Do we have the same interests?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I like that. We should do that here. But yeah, the little fortune teller, the paper fortune tellers. I used to put the weirdest stuff in those. And maybe of something even more. Something I only had a vague idea about. You can fill in mine if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good. Oh, sorry.
You can fill in mine if you want.
My heartbeat quickened. I do. Thank you. Paulina giggled.
Actually, there are so many secrets there. You'd be better off not knowing what we girls think.
Excuse me, took a drink at the wrong time.
How dare you?
She reached for the notebook, playing with me. I tossed my finding into my free hand. Paulina tried to intercept my move. Her hair briefly touched my face, tickling my nose with its silky locks. Oh, she's definitely the fox. I sensed an aroma that immediately filled the whole world. Fragrant, alluring, lively. If only I could picture it, steal it for myself. I felt dizzy, but I gathered myself and spoke in a voice reminiscent of Lieutenant Tikhonov.
Stranger danger! Stranger danger!
Your questionnaire is an important piece of evidence, so I'm afraid I have to confiscate it for further examination. Paulina covered her mouth that rounded in fake horror.
And what are the implication of concealing evidence?
We'll decide that in the course of our investigation.
I surrender my policeman, Mr. Policeman. Oh, my policeman, sorry.
No,
I surrender, Mr. Policeman. Just promise me you won't read anything. It's full of sensitive information.
I'm afraid I'll have to investigate whether someone is in love with Mr. Petrov. Wow, that was bold. Damn, dude. Polina burst out laughing and pressed herself against my chest, showering me with the aroma of her hair and her milky skin that almost looked transparent, with tiny threads of veins running under it. Her whisper was hot, like a piece of butter sizzling on a pan.
Then swear that you will keep this information private.
I swear on my police badge.
And now we need to hurry. Antonisha.
Yeah, that. Antosha, I think. I took out the notebook during class. Skimmed through it, reading into other people's preferences. I was quite surprised to discover Romka's jerking handwriting inside. Okay. His letters bulged out of the cells, as if embarrassed by their sharp shapelessness. Fearsome Romka found time for something so silly? It's kind of sweet, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah. Look. 6B. Sky.
I'm guessing that's
February.
his birthday. His favorite thing is hanging out. A goal of his would be to buy a BMW. His favorite actor is Schwarzenegger. His motto is don't trust, don't fret, don't ask. Not really sure what that last piece is. DuckTales is his favorite show, and Biasha is his best friend.
Find out that's his locker number. Or his locker
Combination?
combination.
Oh, hell no. I wouldn't give that shit out to people. I chuckled into my fist after I found out that Romshka's favorite cartoon is not even Darkwing Duck, but DuckTales. Somewhere in the distance, a teacher was reciting pieces of Andreev's Snapper. I paid them no mind. Paulina's page was decorated with flower drawings and clippings from the Cool Girl magazine.
So, Polina.
It was 6B. She put my birthday.
Franz.
Franz Schubert is her favorite artist. My birthday. Her goal is to see the world. Favorite actor is Robert Schumann. Fear is losing the people she loves.
3/24/92.
Interesting. And her best friend is her grandpa. That's so sweet.
Yeah, that's really cute.
Her favorite musician is Schubert. Her best friend is her grandpa. Her hobby is not violin, like I expected, but a much more mysterious listening. Can such a mundane process really be someone's hobby?
Why is it the back of her head looks like her hair is all messed up?
A little bit. Her hair is a little rumpled. I looked at Polina over the heads of the other students. She was focused on taking notes. I flipped the pages until I found a blank one and armed myself with a pen.
What's your name?
Did you ever, do that with the little S's?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did that too.
I did. I used to write smile with
Yeah.
the S and stuff like that.
I used to doodle other things in my margin. That one just kind of was like, meh, everyone does that.
Oh, it's your phone number.
Oh, I see. Okay. Huh. Wait, I want to go back now. Now that I know what all the questions are.
Too bad we can't.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Okay. Well, we can just read it. What's your name? What class are you in? Your favorite music? Your favorite holiday? Your hobby? What's your dream? Your hero? your biggest fear, your phone number, your favorite cartoon, your best friend.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't need to type this out.
I'll just take a picture of it. Whee! Just in case we need it later. There we are.
Well, we can actually answer it for us.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to go first?
Okay. What's your name? My name's Megan. What classes are you in? I already graduated. I have a bachelor's in arts, so I'm not in classes. Your favorite music? I have a mixture of music, but my favorite singer would be probably Evanescent music, so... My favorite holiday? Halloween.
Hell yeah.
Your hobbies? Art, acting, singing.
Voice acting.
Just trying to do voice acting.
You're doing good.
What's your dream? My dream that I keep telling people is I want to be a voice actor, animator, and singer, so hopefully. Your hero? My mom. Your biggest fear? Loneliness.
Yeah.
I am not telling you my phone number, I'm sorry. Your favorite cartoon? Let's see. Pretty much the first,
Sailor Moon.
well, would that be, if Japanese animation actually would be between Sailor Moon and Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
In America, it would be Beauty and the Beast and... I do like Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
When they brought it up. But
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney one.
Yeah.
My best friend.
Stare.
Ah!
Answer honestly.
Probably my mom.
Yeah? That's really sweet.
Because she was always there whenever my friends dropped me and stuff like that, so...
Your friends are a bunch of assholes.
That happens.
And your mom is really sweet. I like her. Okay. My turn. What's your name? Sylvie. Class are you in? Nothing. I do nothing. My life is just... I sit there. Anyway. Favorite music? Oh, well... I like a lot of different stuff, like Meg said. I guess... Been listening to a lot of, like, the OG goth stuff, you know, like The Cure and the Sisters of Mercy lately. But I think... I don't know if I have a favorite artist, but I do have a favorite song. God, what is it called? It's by Coyote Theory. The Ruse and the Caper. That's my favorite song. My favorite holiday is definitely Halloween. Basically every day is Halloween. Christmas, Halloween. 4th of July, Halloween.
With fireworks.
With fireworks. Okay, so my hobby, I have a lot of those. I like to play video games, make jewelry. I like to write. Shopping. Even though I really don't have the money for that hobby. I like cooking. My dream? I guess my dream... What is my dream?
To go to Japan?
Well, I mean, that is a goal I have in the next couple of years, is to go to Japan. My dream is kind of something up in the air. It changes often. I have bipolar. So, it's really hard for me to think very far in the future. My hero? Well, I guess my hero would probably be my stepmom. She's such a badass. She was done raising kids, man. She had lived her life, and then she and my dad fell in love, and she became a mom all over again to me and my sibling. And it just took a lot of strength for her. And I really appreciate her and everything she's done for me in my life. My biggest fear? It's really personal. I guess my biggest fear is losing control. Going insane. Just finally losing it. There are times when my bipolar takes over. And it's really scary. Phone number? 1-800-YOU-WISH. Favorite cartoon? Let's see, so, as far as American animation, I think Powerpuff Girls was my favorite. I also really liked, Code Lyoko. Was a really good one as a kid. Nobody remembers that, and that makes me sad. It was very good. I think it was a French cartoon. And my best friend. Her name's Alyssa. And, we met on my first day in the Air Force. And we've been friends ever since. About a decade now.
Nice.
Yeah. She's actually the reason I moved up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my divorce, and I'm like, well, my only friend in the world is in buttfuck nowhere, so I guess there I go. And now I'm here, with all sorts of wonderful friends and a fresh start.
Okay, so let's find out what our main character's whole thing.
Oh yeah, I'm curious what he's gonna put down. Anton Petrov, Class 6B.
Beastmaster Demos said, "You two are amazing. I love that you're willing to share."
Yeah, it's just fun. I grew up in the age of Quotev, you know? All those silly little personality quizzes.
Me? Pretty much, like, I might be really shy at the beginning and stuff like that, but I'm willing to actually answer people's questions if they ask.
Oh yeah.
If it's something I feel uncomfortable ask, I'll just simply say it. But, yeah.
Okay, what else? It took a long time to decide on my favorite musician until a trendy pop band, Carman, came to mind, with the cool dancers and their music videos. I bet you these motherfuckers died. Carman, a Soviet and Russian techno-pop band, most popular from the late 80s to early 90s. Founded by Bogdan Titomir and Sergei Lemok, it is mostly remembered for unique dancing performances and for writing a music theme for the Captain Pronin cartoon. Interesting.
Hey, Beastmaster, if you want to tell us your thing, go right ahead and do that.
Yeah, I took a picture in case you don't remember. You're perfectly fine to share. I don't think there's really anybody else here. Except for bots.
Or if there's anyone else in the chat, if you want to answer some of these questions, go for it.
Oh yeah, you don't have to answer all of it either, of course.
Yeah, the phone number thing is... I can always do,
Beastmaster Demos said, "I'm a shy guy, but I love listening to you both."
Well,
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Okay. Alright. Favorite holiday? This one's easy. New Year's. I get the feeling they celebrate that a lot differently in Russia. I'm gonna have to do my research.
yeah.
My hobby is drawing. My dream? Going to Disneyland, I guess. My hero. My hand moved on its own, writing D-A. I stopped on those 2 letters. What if those who read this after me will find my answer laughable and stupid? Who cares? After thinking about it, I decided that not everything should be disclosed on paper. That's how Da turned into Spider-Man. The spelling was wrong, but who cares? Your biggest fear? Your biggest fear, huh? I immediately wrote, losing a person who's dear to me. Your phone number. No secret here. 30395. I just feel like that should be a secret, especially in a town where everyone's kind of after you, dude.
Well, I thought this was the year, or the month, the day, and the year.
Shows you how different it is in other countries.
Yeah.
I do remember in Korea it was something weird. Like, I had to, write this stuff down and keep a Rolodex.
That just reminds me of a comedian joke. They were making fun of a cop. They're like, thank God you have a computer. Our last cop that pulled us over had a Rolodex.
Your favorite cartoon? Transformers.
That's a good one.
Yeah, good on you, kid. Your best friend. I hesitated, gnawing on the pen's cap. Your best friend. I read the question out loud. It was easy, but at the same time, very important. The answer to that was my sister's name, so I carefully wrote it into the squares.
Aww.
That is so sweet. He is such a good brother.
I had a feeling that it was going to be a sister,
Yeah.
but I wasn't 100% sure.
He is the best big brother. I wish I was that cool. I was an asshole to my poor younger sibling. Olya. I repeated my sister's name while sneaking out of the school. There was a cute, freshly drawn dragon in my notebook that I made to please my beloved sister.
Aww.
It's really cute.
It sort of reminds me of Spyro.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tales were bipedal.
Yeah.
In this land of darkness and deceit, her support was the only thing that inspired me to keep drawing and stop me from losing hope in humanity. Refreshing frosty air made my cheeks turn beet red. It was bright outside, and the sun looked like a whole egg yolk. The road looked as if it were silvered. The snow sparkled under the sunlight. I smiled, squinting from the blinding whiteness. Who cares if I don't have any true friends anymore? I have something more important, someone who needs my help, who will never betray me or hurt me. Family is the most important thing ever. That's what Dad always told me.
Oh no.
Oh, you little shit.
Hey, what's up? With the stupid grin.
My numb limbs immediately shrank. Biasha was shuffling his feet in the middle of the yard, his boots restless on the ice. It's not a grin. I tried to go around him, to no avail. Lady Fortune waved me goodbye, disappearing in the early twilight.
In a hurry, eh?
A little bit. Dad is waiting for me.
I'll shoot him a paper message.
Pager.
I'll shoot him a pager message that you're not coming, eh?
My eye flinched unwittingly, my skin dampened. Oh yeah, pagers. Remember those?
Yeah, those are old.
Pager, a wireless telecommunications device that receives and displays alphanumeric or voice messages. To send a message to another person's pager, you had to use a special line. Provide the recipient's number or name, and read your message aloud.
Ours didn't read out loud.
Oh yeah, it sounds more like a walkie-talkie, doesn't it?
Yeah, that pretty much
It's
is.
interesting. They had different pagers back in that time.
Yeah, a pager in the United States, it's pretty much a little thing that you clip on to the side of you, and
It was basically the precursor to a cell phone.
yeah, and it used to beep, a loud little beep whenever you get a message. And
Yeah.
pretty much, if you had it right, you
You
could
couldn't
actually
text on them.
No, you couldn't text.
It was just for calls.
But you could actually put a number in saying a certain thing, like 911 for like emergency call, or a certain number that you don't know. Maybe it belonged to someone you know.
Mhm.
That's old, though.
Yeah, it is. I remember my dad's pager. I used to think it was a walkie-talkie. It was not a walkie-talkie. I got in trouble. My eye flinched unwittingly. My skin dampened.
Let's go, eh? We have a small business to discuss.
I felt chills run all over my body. I didn't like the sound of that small business. Those words, accompanied by spitting, normally hid very dark deeds underneath them. Strangers that used to call our old apartment used to say, "Get your old man. We have a small business to discuss." Biasha turned around. He looked like an astronaut in his tight hood. If I were to imagine him as a sound, he'd be a deafening whistle, a signal given by someone who stands watch. To my demise, there was nobody at the backyard. Apart from the grim-faced Romka.
Oh, great. He's
Oh,
gonna
they're
show
gonna
his
beat
knife.
his ass again.
That, or he's gonna take out his knife again.
He stood there, his feet wide apart, with his right hand hidden behind his back, with a knife! Romka's dry lips were tightly pursed. He kept shooting glances at me as he looked around.
There he is, eh? I can see that. Well, hello there, Antosha.
What do you want? Really? The knife again? He slowly took out a thin, carnivorously shiny blade from his back.
That is a butterfly knife.
It is. Why does he have that?
Yeah, how his parents realizing he has it?
I have a feeling that his parents don't even pay attention to him.
Probably.
A knife, the steel butterfly of death that flies toward the victim's heartbeat. I stepped back instinctively and rammed my back into Biasha. Romka's minion pushed me back.
We want to know. Do you have any hard feelings for me or Bansha?
Romka started picking on his yellow nail, looking at me with an evil smirk on his face. What? Oh,
Well, there. In the forest, we kind of roughed you up. It's just our poor upbringing, yeah, you know? Yeah, not a cultured as you city folks. So we get feisty sometimes.
I nodded, my eyes glued to the knife. The blade glowed under the setting sun, and Romka's eyes had the same evil glow. He stepped toward me. His knife traveled inches away from my coat. One movement and steel would cut into the cloth, and if he pushes deeper...
A little bird told us that you were snooping about Paulina again.
I was so scared that it took me a while to remember who Paulina was. My brain was malfunctioning, my knees were shaking. Suddenly, our class rep slowly walked up to Romka from behind.
Of course.
Oh, that little witch.
I see you boys are getting along quite well. I owe you one, Katria. Oh, no need to thank me, Ramachuka. I always...
Feel mercy.
I'm always...
Welcome to my channel.
Welcome.
Hello. I'm always fighting for true love.
Ew.
Yes, yes, yes.
Kill you, I swear.
I can't hear you. Were you near Polina or not?
Well, we didn't hang out or anything.
Well, that's a lie.
I mean, yeah.
The only thing hanging out here will be your guts when I cut open your stomach.
The blade slid across my sleeve with its dull side and reached my collar. The wind made my face cold, but a bead of sweat still trickled from my temple. A switch flipped in my head. It all made sense now. I remembered Ramka constantly sneaking glances at Polina. I remembered his scrawly handwriting in the questionnaire. Why didn't I study it more in depth?
I see you near Polina even once, and you won't get away with a simple bump. Got it?
Yes.
Now scram!
I was probably so hypnotized by the knife that Ramka had to repeat his threat.
Scram!
I thought about the cold, sharp blade when retreating from the yard. I was asking myself whether I had enough courage to break the promise I made to these bastards. The aftertaste of horrible water I drank down my meds with lingered in my mouth.
Oh, bleach water again.
Yum yum. My thoughts were focused on Polina. But Ramka's threat was also on my mind. I wandered around the house, feeling intoxicated, and nodded to everything my sister said without trying to discern her words. Olya was talking non-stop, at times lifting her arms and laughing, only to then suddenly go quiet and give me Mom's signature gnarly look. I was yanked out of the prison of my own mind, where seething thoughts pecked at my brain like harpies, stopping me from coming back to reality. I stared back. Olya looked like a mini version of my mom right now. Well, to be precise, she looked like the person Mom turned into when we moved here, with her intimidating posture and her eyebrows directed toward the ceiling.
You weren't listening to me, were you?
She tried spitting out these words at me, copying facial expressions of the person she spent almost all of her time with. For a moment, I felt like the light Olya exuded all these years waned and wavered in the wind of prolonged changes. Very soon, my beautiful princess will turn into the dragon that was once guarding her prison tower. That thought was much scarier to me than any other horror sneaking up from the furniture. Sorry, Olya. I didn't want to make you mad. I just got lost in thought. I looked around the room, my gaze jumping from one object to another like a hungry beast, trying to find anything that could distract Olya. Let's play the console. Olya pouted, but there was a spark of interest in her small emerald eyes. The Snow Queen's ice shard inside them started thawing.
And what about the second controller? It's not working. And Dad has no time to fix it.
We can play with the light gun. What do you want to play? Cowboys? Ducks?
You're better than me at both.
Oh, come on. You must have been practicing the whole time I was away from home. Olya
Whoop, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Olya burst out laughing. Her heart was warm once again.
How would you know? But I'm good shooter now. You're already lost.
You've picked the wrong fight here. Come on, turn it on. Aww.
Are we putting the ring in there now?
I hid Semyon's signet ring in my desk's drawer. I was still unsure whether I did the right thing by stealing a crucial piece of evidence from the police. He practically gave it to you.
Yeah, pretty much. He didn't even try to get it back.
Then I relocated to my sister's room. Little Olya jumped toward the TV set and after flicking the power switch, started blindly feeling around on the back side of the photon, trying to plug the console's cable into the antenna input. Bits of TV shows started flashing on the CRT screen when I armed myself with the remote to look for the channel with the sought-after Dendy signal.
Home Alone.
I love that. And then there's Bruce Lee.
No clue who that is.
Nah, Russian stuff. Puppy, why are you awake right now? Did anything interesting happen at home? It was a mundane question for me. I didn't put any actual meaning behind it. But Olya's expression suddenly changed. She lost all the childish nonchalantness she worked so hard to acquire before. What happened, Olya? My sister managed to put the cable in its place and started brushing off her dust-covered hand. She was clearly looking for the courage to continue the conversation.
Mom,
Olya went silent, and for a moment I thought I saw tears welling up in her eyes.
she had this scary thing happen to her again.
My sister looked at me with wet eyes. She had a fit, huh? This happened before, but it was a rare occasion. Now that we'd moved to this godforsaken place, Mom's fits rose in frequency.
Dad brought home a big fish. It was wrapped in a newspaper and had a foul smell.
Bow.
Mom got angry again, and then she took a knife.
Olya squirmed, looking fearfully out the window.
They started screaming at each other.
I froze, imagining my little sister so small and unnoticeable, standing in the kitchen doorway. She wasn't even trying to hide. Our parents just paid her no mind at all.
And then Mom struck it. Like this.
Olya slightly moved her fist downward, imitating a strike.
She hit the fish. And it was still alive. Tasha, it must have been in pain, and Mom.
It was easy to imagine what happened next. The writhing fish with a blade between its fins squirted some smell-felling musk into Mom's face. Whenever death got this close to my mom, be it when a person was hit by a bus in front of us and their blood was smeared all over the windshield, or when Grandma chopped off a chicken's head, my mom would always get into a weird, dreadful fit. Her eyes would roll over. She would fall on her face like a freshly cut tree and start writhing, just like that agonizing fish, turning over chairs and blurting out all sorts of scary sentences.
Okay, so to give you guys a heads up, Flashing lights.
No kidding. I'm trying really hard to just focus on the text box or I'll start twitching too. And what about Dad? Did he help her? Olya shuddered, as if just remembering it pained her.
Yes, but at first... he started laughing, Tasha. He let out an evil laugh and then he saw that Mom was in trouble. But then he cried.
Olya's story made me raise an eyebrow. It seemed like the forest oozing madness had not only completely consumed our mom, but also infected our strong and courageous dad. I quickly stepped toward Olya and locked her in a tight embrace. She dug her face into my chest and I could feel my shirt becoming wet.
Why are they bullying each other, Tasha? Are they crazy?
I stuttered, unable to justify the actions of our parents. I had ran out of words. All I could do was hug Olya even tighter. Huh. Olya screamed and hid behind me.
Turn it off, quick!
No matter how many times she saw this intro, she would always react the same, just like when she saw that owl. I mean, I also got goosebumps every time this ghastly face appeared on the screen, so I immediately complied with my sister's request. Vid, a TV company logo depicting a ceramic head of the Chinese philosopher Go Shang with a three-legged toad on top of his head. It instilled horror in the whole generation of 90s kids in Russia.
Jesus.
I mean, it is really freaking creepy. They didn't think that one through, did they?
No, not really.
I think it's just a one clicker. Finally, the game selection screen showed up for the cartridge that was bundled with the console. Too bad most of the names here were just different levels of the same game. I picked up the gray rectangular controller and started looking around the pixel letters to find the familiar English word for duck. Background music from the menu soothed Olya's mind, and she asked in a calm voice,
How are things at school?
"Nothing good. The school is new, but my treatment is the same. As if we never moved. I'm so tired of this." Before despair could lead me down its depressing road toward the clutches of oppressive thoughts, something evil writhed within my skull, awakening wild and pleasant memories.
There's the bunny.
Yeah. Actually, something good did happen. Olya watched with hope-filled eyes as a wicked smile spread on my face, faintly resembling the wound from a box cutter knife. Another boy went missing.
I don't think that's a good thing.
No, but the putting on the bunny mask, it started corrupting him.
Yeah.
Tasha, do you think that's good? Why do you say that?
My sister's voice trembled when she looked into my eyes through the thick lenses. You know, that other missing boy, Vova. Maybe what happened to him was all his fault. Maybe he did something so bad that he no longer deserved to live.
Don't say it's so cruel, please!
Olya pressed her knees into her chin and hugged them with her hands, trying to take up less space, as if she wanted to shrink or even disappear altogether. It was the only reasonable thing for us to do, go missing among all the other broken toys, and never encounter evil parents or mad classmates. We're the only ones left for each other, the only ones who can protect, listen, and sympathize. Which means she's bound to listen to what I think about all of them. These beasts pretending to be children that are so eager to bully the weak. It was my turn to speak. I think they won't be the last. My breathing quickens, my fingers start banging on the wooden floor. People like them are not worthy of living, going to the same school with us, or looking at your light. My thoughts got tangled. They slipped away along with all my calmness.
Tasha, stop it! You're scaring me!
Don't be scared. I can protect you. Then I finally noticed that Olia was looking at me like I was a stranger.
Who are you?
The rage that welled up inside me subsided. It hid under the guise of my cowardliness, leaving me alone with the gnawing feeling of guilt for scaring my sister. Olia, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I guess I'm just going crazy in that school. She rushed to embrace me, barely holding back her tears.
It's okay, Tasha. Just please never say anything like this again.
I swear on Mom's heart. Olia flashed me a bitter smile.
And you told me I shouldn't say that.
You're right. Let's start playing already.
I go first.
Seal.
Wow. Oh, she missed one.
I guess this is our turn.
I suck at this game!
Man, you really do suck. Gotta anticipate it. Got it.
Let's go dangerous. Let's get dangerous.
Damn, this kid is great.
I suck at this game. Why am I playing this?
You want me to play it? Oh, there's one.
Damn it.
I mean, I'll probably suck just as bad, but...
Yeah, I suck.
It's fine.
Ha! Who wants some more?
Alright, I'm gonna try it this time.
Hold on. Let me hook up the wireless one for you.
Oh, okay, sure. Man, those are good, but they give me a headache. I don't think I'll be doing that anymore.
The drink?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Alright, sorry. Is it on? Nope, it's on off. Nope.
Oh, shit. Okay. Final round. Oh shit, this is really hard.
I told you!
Bird, come here. Fuck. You. Bird. Fuck. oh, there's my cursor. I'm blaming it on the fact that we have a giant TV screen and not a computer that I'm staring at. Come back here, you fucking birds! My mom only managed to get through to me on her third attempt. That was fun. I suck at that game.
I'm not any better. I was like,
Bullshit, you actually hit some.
Anton! There's a call for you. It's a girl.
Oh. I sobered up in an instant and rushed to the hallway.
Watch your step.
I grabbed the phone, pressed it into my chest, looking at my mom. She shrugged and went into the other room, gathering the toys thrown around by Olya as she went. Hello?
Your mom has such a young voice.
Well, yeah, I mean, she is young.
Are you busy right now?
No, of course not. If only she knew how costly this conversation could be for me. What risks I took on just answering this call. There was a pen and a shabby notebook lying on the nightstand. I picked them up and started moving the tip of the pens across the paper, producing chaotic doodles that always ended up turning into hearts.
Oh,
That's so cute.
do you want to finish?
Yes. Okay.
I've been thinking. I need to tell you something.
I froze. It can't be. Does she like me?
You've been looking so lost lately. And when I saw you at school today, you were pale like a ghost.
I couldn't find words. My heart was aflutter in anticipation.
I wanted to say that I'm on your side.
A smile was spreading on my face in anticipation for Paulina's next words.
Beastmaster Demos said, I have to go now, it's 10 a.m. for me. I'm from the UK, got some little jobs to do, but it was a pleasure hanging out with you both. Stay awesome, I'll try catch next stream.
Bye, Beast. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. And I feel so sorry for you. Good guys like you deserve better. I want to believe that you'll find the strength to fight back at some point, and the others will stop picking on you.
The pen fell out of my weak fingers. Is that all she's going to say?
Maybe you'll even find a girlfriend.
She sounded as if she was unsure of her own words.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that you're a nice guy.
It was a total failure. Compassion instead of an invitation to hang out.
You there?
Before I could reply, Olya descended the stairs. She was holding some book in a pink cover, Encyclopedia of a Young Lady.
Mapak 11. Welcome to my channel.
Welcome!
Will you take long?
I covered the handset with my hand. I'm in the middle of a conversation. What happened?
Read me a bedtime story, please. Mom fell asleep.
Go to your room. I'll be there in a minute.
Just be quick, okay?
Fine. My last reply sounded excessively annoyed. I sighed, waiting for my sister running up the stairs. Hello? Paulina?
Sorry, I need to run. Can you imagine there's someone in love with me and he snooped about under my windows, demanding to go on a date with me? I'll go chase him away before Grandpa wake up. Or maybe I should give him a chance.
I bit my lower lip in jealousy.
I'll tell you tomorrow if you want. We're friends after all.
Well, Ramchka's gonna die. Friends. At least she didn't say we were besties. Yeah, sure. Good. The buzzer hammered at my brain. Dirty slut. An angry voice broke through the teeth in my brain. Like a restless zombie devoid of consciousness, I dragged my feet up the staircase. I wish I could tell Dad, ask for his manly advice. But he doesn't show up home until late at night because of his new job. My parents don't have time for me, to put it lightly. Where's your book? I stuttered. The kids' room was empty. Olya! She probably snuck into my room. I started walking down the corridor. The room was infested with shadows. The blinds were wavering like there was someone hiding behind them. I smiled, sneaked toward the window, and threw open the curtain. Gotcha! There was nobody behind the cloth. The window was a TV screen showing wintry scenery. The lamppost, the field, and a couple of walking figures in the middle of it. Alyssa and Olya. I gasped and pressed my fist to my mouth, sinking my teeth into it. Alyssa was leading Olya into the thicket. I needed less than a minute to hurriedly dress and rush out of the house. My heart was beating like a firing machine gun. The wind carried the cold, resinous smell of coniferous trees from the forest. Freezing air cracked somewhere in the field. Two shadows loomed in front of the gate. I could only recognize them as my sister and the fox girl because of her height. I ran toward the fence, listening to the howling wind and the squeaking snow. One of the figures moved and slowly glided toward the thicket like an ice skater. I slowed down and touched my glasses, trying in vain to adjust my vision to the surrounding darkness. Worry landed on my shoulders like a weightless snowflake. A snake woke up in my belly and started writhing. I felt nauseous. I thought about my home, the flimsy fortress I'd left behind. I finally caught up to my sister, dressed only in a coat. Olya.
Have you seen the fox?
Olya, why did you go outside? If Mom finds out... My sister froze in place, facing the taiga. She was a hand's reach, and I put my numb wrist on her shoulder for some reason, probably to make sure it wasn't a dream. Well, that scared me. A pointy beak was directed at me, strewn with feathers that formed an owl face. Something wearing a bird mask was staring at me.
Hoot hoot! She won't.
The voice sounded exactly like Olya's, but there was something else hiding behind the feathers and the carton. I sprinted away as if I got whipped. The masked creature only pretending to be Olya. Just to lure me out. I was running like crazy, drowning in snow. The house in front of me was rapidly growing. The yellow light in its windows granted me hope. My mom and sister are there, my salvation. I couldn't hear anything from behind me, as if nobody was chasing me. Maybe it's because the owls can fly? I was already climbing the porch when I noticed another figure. From the soot-black shadow of my house, a scruffy wolf cub crawled out and stood in my way. Its movements were jerky, chaotic, as if it were performing some terrifying dance. or convulsing during a stroke. And even though I could clearly see that the wolf face was a mask, something in this werewolf's convulsions made me freeze in place. The boy in a wolf's costume rubbed his side against the porch post and fell to his knees. He bent his back so hard I expected his spine to crack. The beast's eyes shone, but he didn't attack. He kept crawling around and running on all fours. I shifted my feet, my mouth agape, trying to keep him in my line of sight. Something was trickling from the slit in the mask. Viscous drops fell to the wooden planks. Saliva. Some unknown force pushed me in the back, whispering me to save myself. The fence was flashing by at the edge of my vision. I was running in another direction this time, toward the toothy edge of the forest that smelled of pine. My heartbeat measured time. The wolf boy growled behind my back as if he forgot his human nature. Grr, grr. My right leg got stuck in the snow-laden cavity. I yanked it out, cursing under my breath, and fell to the ground. Plastering snow prevented me from standing up, from propping myself against anything. But my unbound thirst for life helped me get out of that trap. Darkness was creeping closer, like the toxic fumes of burial pyres. I ran again, gasping for air that stung my throat. My hair swayed in the wind. I lost my hat when I fell down, and my ears were now hot from the freezing cold while most of my body was still sweaty. The field finally ended. After realizing that running into the forest wasn't the smartest decision I could make, I dove into the line of trees. I ran without stopping, my face covered with one of my palms. I didn't want to lose an eye to some random branch. Branches whipped my clothes, pricked my skin like butchers that were herding a pig into a grinder. A knot of roots, sprouting from the ground, grabbed at my foot. I rammed into the scratchy trunk, slid down to its base, and looked around in a panic.
Phew! You're so fast.
My first desire was to dash toward her and hug her. I resisted it and squeezed myself even tighter into the pine. What are you doing here?
This and that.
She was holding the hat I lost.
Working part-time in Lost and Found. Put it on or your ears will freeze and maybe even fall off soon.
She giggled. I squinted in suspicion and shifted my gaze back and forth between her and the hat, scared that Alyssa might be holding a severed head or something even more sinister. But in the end, my hat turned out to just be my hat. I took it and pulled it over my forehead.
Feeling warmer?
I didn't reply. There were some children in the yard.
And? Did they bite you or something?
No.
Then why did you run away?
The answer was obvious, but after rolling the thought on my tongue, I mumbled. I don't know.
Ah. Why did I promise to never call you a dance again? Oh well. I keep my promise.
She walked up to me and grabbed me by the elbow. I sensed the familiar aroma of mint, oranges, and burnt sparklers. I wanted to lean into Alyssa, to savor the minute details of her smell.
How many times do I need to tell you? You're safe as long as you're with me. I'm your friend. And they are too.
I quickly turned around toward the place the fox girl was pointing to. Kids in masks appeared at the clearing. At least they looked like kids, since they were all pretty short. A wolf boy, an owl girl, and a bear boy.
So there's the little girl that got stolen.
Vova.
Vova is the wolf, and the bear is, what's his name?
Semyon. Maybe. They all huffed and gasped for air, clearly tired from running around.
I thought you fell through the snow. Started digging around, but couldn't find you. And I didn't care enough. You see, if you're dumb, you run around and dig. And if you're smart, you wait until the others get tired of running around and digging. Then you start talking. You're a rat. Tetrin the rat.
Huh?
Don't mind him. He's a weirdo.
I stood there stupefied, my mouth agape and my hands dangling helplessly. I had no idea how to react to the words of these late-night guests, but I managed to squeeze out something resembling a smile.
You want to know the weirdest thing?
Mm-hmm.
They're all predators, and he's the bunny.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. You just scared me, that's all. They started looking at each other, and somebody even snorted, as if I said something funny.
Yes, the fox is right.
He's the one.
No, this is our. Have we finally found him?
Our bunny?
Yes, he looks the part.
The wolf boy started wagging a part of his costume like it was his tail in excitement.
First.
Of course you were first. Wolfie here was the first to sense the bunny in you. He told us about you.
Hello.
And you've already met our Hootie before. She isn't that scary, is she?
I guess.
And this smiling big guy is Teddy. Be mindful with him, or he'll chew off your head.
What?
I see you've also dropped your sense of humor somewhere on the way here.
I was still unsure if these peculiar little animals had the best intentions in mind, so I hid my hands behind my back, trying to look away from the gaping holes of their carnival masks. Alyssa put her hands to her sides in a theatrical manner and somehow managed to wink with her fox face.
The next time we come, we'll ring bells for you. That way you will be less scared of our visit.
Do we even have any bells?
I won't be ringing. My paw hurts.
My smile was no longer fake.
You showed us your teeth. That's a good sign. I don't expect you to find us fun. I thought that was an emotion reserved strictly to Disneyland.
How do you know that?
I read about it somewhere. Read about it somewhere.
You read about me?
Aren't you funny? No, about Disneyland, darling.
You can read human?
Do you think I've been going to school every day for nothing?
Oh, it's totally Paulina. And then she sang in a coquettish voice.
Okay. Kids Week, wherever creative meals. Local school, of course, of yours classroom.
Oh.
Interesting. I wasn't expecting the song.
Yeah, that's interesting. I let out a cautious laugh. My new acquaintances didn't seem scary anymore. On the contrary, they looked friendly and welcoming. There was something about them that attracted me. Just like this clearing, this moon, and the snowflakes that fell backwards from the ground to the sky, as if someone was rewinding a tape.
Yeah, the snow's going up.
Yeah, it's really cool. The masked kids got close and I felt their touch. They gave me friendly taps, felt my clothes as if checking whether I was real. There was no animalistic malice in their touch, only pure childish curiosity. For some reason, I thought to myself, I can trust them. Snowflakes just kept on floating upwards.
Nobody will hurt you anymore.
Grand. Yeah, if somebody ever tries to.
The fox gave me a slight tug and burst out laughing.
Well then, Tasha, will you run away screaming or come with us?
Where to?
To an amusement park.
At that moment, Taiga's deceptive silence was broken by the sound of a distant flute. Mesmerizing and alluring, it brought about the ring of crystal glass and the whispers of fresh winter spring. If I had any doubts before, the flute song shattered the last of them. I started following my new friends before I could even make my decision. My legs carried me of their own will, and the tunnels made of pines stepped apart. Bushes bowed in front of our procession. Everything looked dreamlike. Because even the clearing we ended up in, I only saw in my dream. The flute soared up in the treetops like some fantastical bird. The snowflakes floated up in a spiral. The moon painted tree branches with silver. Alyssa gasped in amazement. I was also in awe. I tilted my head backwards as far as I could.
Hoot! What a sight!
It's so beautiful.
Oh, that's Anton. It's so beautiful.
Oh, sorry.
Wolfie howled in agreement.
There is nothing. I can show you much more. If you want.
I did want. I wanted to see what the fox girl saw with her eyes, hidden in the semi-dark of her cape. Now I didn't feel weird about these masked kids. I felt weird for being the only one without a mask. I felt like I was naked in the January winds. Why do you wear these masks? I was trembling, but I wasn't scared. My trembling wasn't caused by the cold. It originated from the peculiar anxiousness, the anticipation of something amazing.
And why do you ask?
I touched my cold cheek. I'm not wearing one.
I love human details. Human nails?
Human fails?
I've already told you. All the villagers wear masks. It's just you won't find anything human underneath them.
Even me?
Haha! You're so clumsy, Anton. We've already found your glasses once already. And your grat. And your real face.
I looked at the mask the fox was holding out to me. The bunny mask that looked like a silver ingot under the moonlight. I was curious to see the world through its slits. Okay, I guess we're taking it. Suddenly, fighting its way through the flute's melody, a thought came to me. The glasses they found were in Semyon's possession. My new acquaintances must have known what happened to him. Or even worse. And where did Semyon disappear to? What happened to him? And the other children? The bear and the owl looked at each other. The wolf boy curled into a ball, and the fox lowered the pointy nose of her mask.
The one who was kept in the cage. The one who cut into little pieces. Roar. The one who wears a skin face took them. If I knew how to cross myself, I'd do it.
So you're saying it was a human?
Were you even listening to us? How can you call someone like him human? There's just one word for him, an adult.
Oh, it's definitely that cop.
It's so easy to get lost in the adult world. Killers, cruel animals, trainers, and cold parents. And if you don't want to get sad, better not to think about it. I don't know how about you, but I definitely don't want to be sad. Somehow I'm also not sad today. What about you, Anton?
Huh? I was lost in thought, staring at the pines, trying to pinpoint the location of the flute. I was sure that the person who played it was standing right behind the piney stockade. Someone tall, going over the holes on the flute of their long fingers.
What now? Are we gonna sit and be sad or have some fun?
Alyssa wanted to show me something.
Let's start with the sweet stuff.
The fox girl took out a handful of candy from her pocket and handed them to each of the kids. Covers shuffled, the smell of pineapple, cocoa, and melon wafted through the air. The last treat, a chocolate-covered waffle candy, Alyssa put right into my mouth. My tongue was engulfed in spiciness. I felt like my body was covered in fur and small sparks were running along it. I chewed on the waffle and the chocolate, gulped them down, enjoying the vivid taste. Okay, so the candy's what turns them into creatures. Thanks. Banini. My gratitude was barely audible because my lips were already touching the insides of a mask. I didn't even notice how I put it against my face. The papier-mâché was warm. The mask stuck to my skin, giving it a nice prickle. The kind when you dive into a hot bath after being outside in winter. Excuse me. When you lie there and purr from the soapy water.
See, I told you. This is yours.
Mine.
What are we waiting for? The fun won't have itself.
The melody kept swirling in the field like a hurricane. I couldn't wait to release the energy, the heat that this enchanting music was filling me with. The owl jumped and disappeared into the sky. I heard her laughter from somewhere above, and then she landed back, huffing and sighing.
I have no idea what just happened.
Is your phone trying to connect?
No.
That's so weird.
Wrong thing.
Bear with us, some weird stuff just happened. I heard her laughter from somewhere above, and then she landed back, huffing and sighing.
You can do it, too. Give it a try.
I followed suit. Oh man, that looks fun. My feet tore off from the ground. I flew toward the stars like a rocket and screamed from happiness after seeing my friends down below. The wind helped me fly. It felt like I was jumping on a huge trampoline. The stars looked like vivid sparklers that I could reach and lick up. The moon also got closer, and then I plunged. I got scared that I'd break my legs for a moment, but my soles landed softly on the ground, and I regained my balance.
You're safe with us, and all your dreams will come true. I'm so happy that I finally found you, Bunny.
In a fit of merry laughter, I realized the most important thing. These four are no threat. My real enemies, and I felt that with every single hair on my mask, were those who knew nothing about magic. Humans from the village. I also realized how alive my surroundings have become. I heard the dry grass under the snow moan. I saw faces of the trees and the stars. The trees were smirking and the stars were grimacing in fear. That's right, be scared. I'll jump up to you and... I snapped my teeth and then I let out a jubilant laugh, jumping all along with the fox. We flew higher than the tallest pines and stayed in the air. I swirled. Alyssa followed my rhythm. I knew she was smiling, so I smiled too. And the flute just kept on playing, carrying us higher and higher.
Why did someone...
Oh, that's Paulina.
Why did someone put a spell on you?
That someone is standing next to me, I thought, trying to unglue my chin from my desk. My muscles felt slightly sore, but that feeling was pleasant. The whole class was wandering about for some reason, whispering and passing notes to each other. Their faces looked like discolored masks to me, bleak and boring. I yawned, remembering the time I was soaring high above the forest with Alyssa by my side, laughing and squeezing my hand. Probably, it was all just a dream. Because I didn't walk back from the forest, just woke up in my bed on a normal morning with tea and medicine. Still, I was hardly worried about trying to find a rational explanation for my night dance. That feeling of flight was much more important. The knowledge of how it feels to be hanging in the air above the treetops of majestic pines and baring my teeth at the moon. There's another one.
That's probably his.
Oh, that or his sister.
Oh, maybe.
The knowledge of how it feels to be hanging in the air above the treetops of majestic pines and baring my teeth at the moon. Sorry, I got lost in thought.
Have you heard about Katrina?
Katya.
Katya?
Wow. It's Katya. She disappeared this time. Huh? Oh shit. I glanced at the empty seat in front of me.
Katya went missing.
My sleepiness was gone in an instant. I frowned in suspicion. What do you mean? It can't be. Yep, there she is. Katya Smirnova, 12 years old, grade 6B, was last seen during the day on January 23rd at the schoolyard. Identifying features: 155 centimeters tall, green eyes, light brown hair, lean build. She was dressed in a fur-hooded coat, knitted hat with a pom-pom, a white scarf and gloves. Special identifying feature: wears a strawberry-themed scrunchie. If anybody has information on Katya's whereabouts, call the following numbers. Episode 4. Stomp your hooves and wait.
Did you want to take a break?
No, I'm okay.
Did you want to eat anything or something?
No, I'm good from earlier.
Well, I need to run upstairs and get another drink, so I'll be
Okay.
right back.
We should probably turn the mic off, yeah?
Yep.
Cross 1K. Welcome to my channel.
Alright. We'll be back in the game now.
Okay, so we looked it up, and apparently this is the last episode they've got out. So, we'll be done after this one, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Episode 4, Stomp Your Hooves and Wait.
I couldn't believe it at first, but Lava Parvada didn't come to work today. The test is off.
I remembered Katya. She was both beautiful and mean. Katya, the first girl in our class whose body started maturing to the envy of all the other female students. The main source of gossip, a snake and a bitch. I continued scribbling in my notebook, drawing rows of pines and 2 small figures, flying between them. Shivers ran up my shoulders, sneaking playfully under the hem of my shirt. Even though soaring through the sky felt so simple, there was still something evil weighing me down. Was it the stolen signet ring, or the heavy look of those missing kids from the notice board were giving me? The culprit was definitely still in the village. They were hiding something horrible under a mask of piousness.
What are you drawing?
Embarrassed, I covered the notebook as if there was something shameful about the figures above the forest. Nothing really, just fooling around. Polina put her elbows on the desk. I had already forgotten how light and graceful she was, just like a violin. The anger and rage that boiled inside me yesterday during our phone call subsided, hid in a hole. I just couldn't stay mad at Polina. I wish she could also jump around with us after stripping away her mask of fake mundanity. I smiled, imagining Polina's skirt flapping in the wind, the stars sparkling all around us, her asking in bewilderment whether it's all a dream, and myself telling her that it doesn't matter. Polina's expression grew dark again.
It's also tragic that I find it difficult to empathize with her. I tried so hard, but then I remember all her nasty deeds and...
Polina shook her head.
I'm a monster, aren't I?
No, I thought. You're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever met, but alas, you're only number 2 on that list. I decided not to say that out loud.
It's not okay that I felt worse when I lost my questionnaire than when she went missing. Whoops, sorry.
My nostrils picked up the smell of candy, tree resin, and fireworks. You lost your questionnaire?
Yes, somebody out there is reading other people's secrets now.
Yes, the forest, I thought, imagining the crooked branches turning notebook pages, touching the childish handwriting with their icy twigs.
I hope the search goes well.
I was unsure whether she spoke about Katya or her notebook. I wanted to ask her about it, but then I noticed Polina's intense stare directed at me. What?
You've changed.
I smoothed my hair flat, surprised. I just didn't sleep well tonight.
You're a different melody today. Some mysterious, ancient tone.
I thought about the flute's melody, streaming between the bushy treetops.
I hope you hadn't told anyone about our chat yesterday.
Of course not. She nodded, as if acknowledging that she can fully trust me. I was unsure whether I merited such trust. Her hair cascaded down around her shoulders. The smell was so wonderful that it sent me flying toward the glowing stars of my inner cosmos without any magic. Biasha jumped at me like that Jack-in-the-Box toy and yelled in my ear.
Ouch.
What a jerk.
Eee. Looky here. Having a lovely divide time, eh? Hey, Four Eyes. Are you trying to pick up Polina?
Polina came to my help, even though I didn't ask her to. Or maybe I did, with my entire appearance.
What's with this nonsense? We're just friends. Is he your girlfriend then? Do you go to buy dresses together with this fag? He's not a fag. Leave Petrov alone.
I needed to do something, but I just sat there, clutching the edge of my desk. Romka gave me a deriding snort.
A girl saved you, ugly face. I'll let you live for now.
My enemies left the classroom, guffawing. Polina showed me a sad smile.
Be strong.
I wanted to scream that I couldn't. I couldn't be strong and stand up against these bastards. I couldn't stand up for myself, or anyone else. I'm pathetic. I want to disappear into the forest, dig myself into the snow. I want to go home, get under my blanket, far away from humans. Polina left, and the thoughts that were terrorizing me finally made me weep. ... I stayed late after school again to escape Romka's ire for my rash act of talking to Polina. Which meant I had to drag my feet toward home in the twilight. A bored school janitor scraped his shovel against the asphalt, and the upperclassmen blew out smoke that formed clouds similar to dialogue bubbles in comics. I wanted to fill those bubbles with friendly words, but there was nothing friendly about the icy stares those guys gave me. I was leaving the unpleasant world of stale buns and nasty insults. Someone shoved me near the stairs. Didn't their parents teach them to apologize? I crossed the village and slowed my pace near the bridge. I turned my head around, looking for my fox friend, but neither she nor my other new friends could be seen anywhere. I was met with the silent forest. It felt like a crouching predator, pretending to be asleep. It still watched me with one eye. From under half-closed eyelids, I walked through it, my fingers gripping the backpack straps, looking at my feet through a pair of glasses.
He has 3 feet now?
Yes.
Katria. Katya. Katya.
Once again, black shadows flashed among the naked trees, shouting the name of a girl who was most likely already dead, over and over. The sunset fizzled over the pine tops, like a flame from a gas burner set to a minimum. I walked forward, trying to hide my head and my shoulders, avoiding the sight of the crooked trees. The house was a dark stain on the white snowy blanket. The front door was open and swayed slightly in the wind. It felt like my skin was getting covered in rime. I clenched my fists. Darkness oozed into the hallway, and snowflakes floated inside along with it, landing softly on the rug, like a pack of vultures that sensed their food. I stepped into the doorway with the utmost caution. For a moment, I thought I heard someone talking in the kitchen, but it turned out to be a radio broadcast.
The previous mentioned circulation is getting even close to the region. The official forecast for tomorrow suggests gusts of winds reaching up to 70 kilometers per hour. Amercom of Russia has called on citizens to exercise extreme caution. The roads are closed off. The cold air streams coming from the Arctic are bringing massive blizzards.
I heard voices coming from the upper floor, too. The staircase let out a long squeak. I took one step, yet my heart managed to beat 6 or 7 times in that meantime. The door to my parents' bedroom was ajar. A shadow play unfolded inside a light spot. Black silhouettes were forming a dance of hatred. My mom hissed at Dad, her wrists flying toward the ceiling, and he towered over her, his hands crossed on his huge chest.
We're all in danger, and it's your fault! And stop lying! You saw him in the village. He found out where we live. It wasn't him! I've read about the things. Your bodies are capable of in the newspapers.
I ran toward my bedroom.
Nope, wrong button.
My parents were in the middle of another quarrel where they showered each other with mutual accusations.
Hi, welcome.
Dad let out a low, beast-like roar.
Bigton, stop!
Olya stood in the corridor, pressed her little palms against her ears. Her face, swollen from crying, made my skin freeze. What happened?
They're going to divorce.
I hugged my sister and held her tight. My tongue refused to listen to my commands, to look for excuses. It felt like the screams were coming from every direction, right and left, up and down, splitting my head apart. Swear words rained down on us, so we covered our heads with our hands, like refugees running from a bombing.
I want to escape.
To your room?
No, far away. Lead me to Neverland. You promised.
I carefully unglued Olya's hands from her ears and led her away from the room with our parents, which was vibrating with malice.
Your fault! For whom? Your own, and only your own. I would never!
In moments like these, I despised them more than they despised each other. I bolted down the door to my room and leaned against it. My knees gave way. Look, Olya, I also hate it here.
At least you can go to school.
I let out a sad laugh. That school is one big nightmare. Everybody hates me. There's only this one girl who isn't making fun of me. She takes pity on me instead, like I'm a beaten dog.
You're not a dog, you...
I don't know who I am anymore. But the outside world is clearly no better than our home.
Do you know a better place? Let's go there. We'll fly in or swim.
If only we could do that. I would have sacrificed everything to escape and take you with me. Olya's upper lip trembled.
Swear?
I put on a bitter smile. On my own life. Something hit the window's ledge on the outside. Olya shuddered and shifted her gaze toward it. Bam! Another snowball smacked into the window's frame.
Were you expecting someone?
I didn't reply. Instead, I let go of her wrist. Olya wept in fear. I crossed the room, wincing from every shout coming from my parents. I could hear plates getting smashed now. They must have moved their argument to the kitchen. Nope. I flung the curtains and the window open. Hooty, Teddy, Wolfie, and most importantly, the charming Alyssa stood outside, waving at us. Olya gasped in surprise when she saw the owl girl.
See, I told you!
Yeah, I know. I always believed you.
Who are they?
Her fearful voice also had some curiosity mixed in.
Only the most boring children sit at home in weather like this. We still have so many games to play, Hoot.
But let's not play all of them. My paw hurts. We play a little, then rest.
Friends? Come on, come out to play and dance.
My heart started beating faster as soon as I saw Alyssa, and my inner voice practically screamed, "She's here! She's finally here!"
Do they know the way to Neverland?
I entertained that possibility, looking at the animal kids. Maybe. Let's go find out. The silhouettes of my forest friends promised to free us from the sadness, anger, and nightly horrors. I made sure that Olya wore warm clothes. Mom barked at Dad like a wild beast from the show with Nikolai Drozdov. Nikolai Drozdov, a Soviet and Russian zoologist traveler, popular science advocate, and a TV host featuring the Inside of the Animal Kingdom program. He is famous for his infectious optimism and overwhelming empathetic attitude toward animals.
And he's dead. No.
Yeah, right? Her little outfit is so cute. We sneaked past the rumbling kitchen and into the snowfall outside. Alyssa ran up to me and hugged me tight, poking her cold nose into my neck. You took
so long. We almost got old waiting for you, shut-ins.
She pressed her body into me even harder.
Turn out. Waiting is so tiring. Phew. Give me a minute to catch my breath.
I was preparing to leave for a long time. Once, hoot hoot. And when I was done, I forgot where I was supposed to go.
Olya looked at the owl with suspicion. But she still giggled when the bird did a backflip and landed perfectly on her feet without staggering. All the other animals, as if on cue, stopped fooling around and stared at Olya in amazement.
That's a girl who doesn't want to become friends. My name is Olya. I was afraid of you before. Were you afraid of our Hooty?
Maybe she has owl phobia.
Can you cure that? It doesn't matter as long as she's not afraid of having fun. Or she might get scared to death with us.
I was stunned at the realization that my lips were slowly forming a smile. Every time I met Alyssa, it felt like I crossed a river, and the sound of flowing water suppressed all of my negative thoughts.
Your costumes are so pretty.
The fox girl let go of me and squatted beside Olya.
My, what a cutie. Why do you hide such a cute creature from us before?
I glanced at the house, worried that our parents might have seen us and were about to ruin our fun like they always do. Then hugged my sister and replied,
And a camera just turned on.
Interesting. Let's get further away from here.
Sure thing. Hey, Olya, do you know how to find Grandpa Frost in our forest?
My little sister's eyes widened.
How? You need to follow the sweet trail.
Alyssa bent down and took a candy out of the snow. Olya raised her hands in amazement. She gave me an inquiring look. I nodded. My sister munched on the candy.
Wait, do we hoot hoot have Grandpa Frost in our forest? Why, Hoot Hoot, don't you tell me? I did this afternoon. But I sleep during the day. Right, I told you while you were sleeping.
We're gonna have to click that little info button for Grandpa Frost. Grandpa Frost, dead Moros. A legendary figure similar to Santa Claus, hailing from Slavic mythology. He is often depicted wearing a heel-length fur coat in red or blue, a semi-round fur hat, and a pair of Russian traditional winter footwear, Valenki. His face is adorned by a long white beard, and he walks with a long magic stick. He's said to bring presents to well-behaving children on the New Year's Eve.
Ah, no wonder he likes New Year's.
Yeah, so it's basically their Christmas. Alyssa dashed away, wiggling her red tail like a torch's flame. Olya went after her without thinking and laughed after taking another candy out of a snow pile.
We're so lovely, it makes me... You're so lovely, it makes me sick to the stomach.
And you stop being so persive. Run with us to Grandpa Frost while there are still presents left.
No way! I won't believe the fox's tales unless 10 pounds of sweets drop on my head right now.
When the aforementioned sweets started raining down on the bear's head, I couldn't help myself from laughing at him ouching and bobbing his head up and down. Tasty treats glistened in the snow. Teddy sneezed and pulled a little bear in the north candy out of his ear.
I'd take an hour-long nap and then count all these chocolates. I suspect there are no more than 3 pounds here.
Alyssa shouted at us from the other side of the forest.
Maybe in another life. Hurry up! Grandpa Frost is already tired of waiting for you in this castle.
I shrugged and ran. Running loosened the grip of fear I felt all this time. Something round whizzed past my temple. I decided it was a snowball, but then Olya proclaimed. Zephyr, I think.
Zephyr!
Don't pick it up, it's dirty. Now we gotta look and see what it is. The Zephyr, a type of soft confectionery popular in post-Soviet countries. It's made by whipping fruit and berry puree with sugar and egg whites with subsequent addition of a gelling agent. Its chocolate-coated variant shares the same family of treats with American Malamers, German Schokokus, and Iranian Bustani Zemestani.
So it's a candy.
Yeah, essentially. It almost looks like a divinity, doesn't it?
So it reminds me of a seashell.
Yeah.
Because there's the bottom part and then there's the...
Oh, I'm thinking about like the sweets. It looks like one of those divinity sweets.
It's a Divinity Street, the ball, the one that looks like a snowball that has color on it.
I thought that was just a snowball.
That might be a snowball. I've never eaten one of those, so I don't know if that's...
I've tried to eat them. I'm just not a big fan of marshmallow.
Oh, is it marshmallow?
Yeah, snowball or marshmallows.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just know that it's like really, really high in calories and stuff like that.
Not like I give a shit. I'll eat it.
Somebody told me it tastes disgusting, so...
Yeah. Microbes.
Huh? Do you believe in microbes?
And you don't?
I used to.
Graceful rows of colossal pines greeted us with their rustling paws. Snow drifted upward into the endless black sky, just like last time. Snow piles lighted up like melted silver.
Wait, so... Hopefully they're not taking them to the killer.
I don't think so, but we'll see.
So pretty! And I thought the frost was scary.
Parents told us scary stories of the forest, owls and snow. But we weren't one bit worried. Playing with her when moons glows.
I did my best to keep track of Olya's movement, but it was a difficult task. My sister would jump inside bushes, picking up more candy, only to then get back to the trail laughing. Hootie flew over our heads, landed on a branch, and started hooting and shaking her head. Wolfie dug in the snow with his face, dragged out a pile of bubble gum, and swallowed it without taking off the wrapping.
Your tummy will hurt.
The wolf got scared and spat out the gumball.
Lies, lies, lies. Nasty flies. Tummy aches don't exist. All that nonsense only happens in grown-ups.
Alyssa stopped in her tracks and moved a canopy of intertwined branches to the side in a pompous manner, like you would open the curtains in a theater. Behind that obstacle lay a clearing. There stood an ice castle glistening with silver. Uh-oh, yep.
Is this real?
Should I pinch you?
There's no need to pinch her. We stared at the sparkling miracle. Its towers and walls were made out of snow and icy marble. I heard a calming sound of ringing little bells. There was also the smell of chocolate and burnt sugar in the air.
Welcome to our humble abode. Come on in.
Yep, they are definitely leading him into that garage.
Yeah, middle of nowhere, so...
Yep. She didn't have to invite us twice. We entered the castle, spinning around and squinting from the blinding sparkles. Grandpa Frost sat atop a shiny throne.
That's not creepy or anything.
Not at all. That hat is something else.
Looks like a jester's hat.
Yeah, I really like it. Puffy pom-poms swung atop the twin peaks of his hat. A snow-white beard covered his kind smile. He looked just like I imagined him back in the day when I still believed in Mom's fairy tales. Tall, strong, and hairy, radiating frost and warmth at the same time. And his voice, low and syrupy, enveloped me like the smoke of a festive bonfire.
I think he's wearing a mask too.
Yeah, that is a mask. It has to be.
Anton and Olivia. You probably got tired while getting here. my dear children.
Oh no, Grandpa. We got here really fast.
My sister spoke with the castle's master like she never spoke with adults, in a lively, carefree manner, as if they were the same age.
Of course, I know all about it. I have a lot of friends. They tell me everything. If you're delighted all year, I will bring you gifts, my dear. If you lazy and upset, please forgive this kind old man. Candy won't encounter lazy bones and downers.
I'm not lazy.
This too I know.
He gave us a long, evaluating look. His real face was hidden under the Grandpa Frost mask. I was just standing there, unblinking, my gaze glued to the old man. I could accept children living in the forest and fantastical jumps toward the moon, but seeing Grandpa Frost in his frozen castle left me completely speechless.
I have something special for you two.
A sack appeared in his giant hand. My nostrils got attacked with the aroma of cocoa, halva, and tangerines. Okay. Halva, a confectionery that originated from Persia, usually consisting of a thick paste made from flour, butter, liquid oil, saffron, rosewater, milk, cocoa powder, and sweetened with sugar. Well, that sounds interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah. Who's dead? No.
Yeah, really. Thank you, but we've already eaten some candy. Grandpa Frost pierced me with his eyes.
Ho ho ho. You call that candy? That was nothing. My candy's special. Straight from Neverland. Ho ho ho.
From Neverland?
I've given them to you right away. You clearly deserve them. But rules are rules. You need to solve 3 of Grandpa's riddles. Want to try? Oh no, not
Yeah,
riddles.
this is not going to be good. I tried splitting my parched lips apart, but Olya was the first to reply.
Yeah!
Here comes the first one. It's a home for cars and all sorts of tires. Yeah, it's a grad.
Yep. I looked around at the masked children. They stood without moving in the corners, but their shadows danced on the walls. I heard a low hum, and in my confusion, I thought it was the sound of their rumbling stomachs.
A garage?
Correct. Now on the second one. You tried to solve it too, Anton. All day long, to the shadows they belong. They rattle in plates and hiss at their mates.
My eyebrows shot up in confusion.
Snakes?
His parents.
Ah.
Moms?
No, that's Anton.
Oh, sorry.
Moms? Olya raised her hand.
Can I? It's a kitty.
Correct. Here's the last. What the heck?
That's so weird. Sorry, it cut us off on our screen again.
Am I sitting on something? I don't
Oh,
think I'm.
maybe I am.
No, my home control's right here.
Huh. Yeah, I don't think I'm sitting on anything either. How weird.
Correct. Here's the last one. Solve it, and the gifts are yours. So, who was right? The kid or all of it?
I think it was Olya that was right.
Oh, but what a stroke of bad luck, my dear children. I completely forgot what the riddle was about. Maybe our little animal friends can help us.
Children in costumes surrounded us, laughing and stomping, only to start spinning in a crazed roundelay that somewhat reminded me of the dance under my window on that fateful night.
Grandpa Frost sits on the throne. At the kids, he smiles back. Please don't make them wait too long. Come and open your old sack.
Grandpa Frost burst out laughing, satisfied.
Okay, you prove yourself to the old man. Here you go.
He scattered a mountain of sweets from his scarlet sack, some of which I had never seen in commercials before.
Some of them are probably sleeping pills.
Bubblegum of all shapes and colors with tasty aromas and inserts sticking out.
So that looks like a Snickers.
Yeah.
Milky Way.
Jawbreaker.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's a lot of candy. It's kind of hard to tell what anything else is.
This might be a gum. Some kind of gum.
Yeah, maybe.
Another Milky Way, another gobstopper.
Lollipops the size of a fist and tangerines the size of Olya's head.
Twix.
And a Kinder Egg.
Kinder Egg, yes.
And a banana.
Maybe these are oranges.
Yeah, they were talking about tangerines, so.
What
Cool.
the heck is this?
I don't know. And also Snickers, Mars, Bounty Bars, and Kinder Surprise Eggs that we haven't eaten for so long already.
Wow, thank you!
I wiped away the tears of joy with my sleeve when my inner voice persuaded me to get rid of all doubts. This is exactly what I wanted for my sister and myself. The true Neverland, without bullying and taboos. We're finally going to be happy. Grandpa Frost straightened up as he left his throne and threw his hands in the air over the treats. Yeah.
I wonder why it's
Ripped.
ripped.
Like that, yeah. Uh-oh. Animals that stood to his sides also raised their paws. Their eyes sparkled brighter than precious gems. The wolf's maw was wet with saliva.
Feast, my children.
Animal kids rushed to devour the candy one by one, pushing each other and growling. Their faces were smeared with something dark. Oh no. Olya grabbed the closest candy and tore off the wrapper.
I don't want to accept.
That's the only thing we can do, it looks like. I fished out the most tasty-looking candy from the pile of sweets on the floor.
And almost lost an arm. Oh, now we're in color.
Yep. Then I took a bite. Milk chocolate melted in my mouth.
I applaud your bold decision. Now it's time for you to play. I will grant your deepest wish. Let me lighten up your way.
Anton, look!
My sister's face was smeared in chocolate, and I was about to reprimand her. But words got stuck in my throat. A giant spruce shot toward the stars and disappeared somewhere in outer space, crowded by a giant moon. Giant balls shined on its branches. Garlands of lights gleamed with all the colors of the rainbow.
And these kids are probably high as fuck.
The roof disappeared and myriads of constellations sprawled on the night sky above us. Music, laughter, the smell of evergreen and sweets. And Teddy, Wolfie, and Hootie dancing beside us. And the snowflakes floating backward. I burst out laughing, touched the bushy golden tinsel. It was all real.
Is that it?
Are you talking about Neverland by any chance?
Is this Neverland?
Alyssa performed a theatric bow. Christmas balls gleamed and shimmered, and my soul shimmered in unison with them. I was becoming the magic winter forest, the soft evergreen, all of the constellations at the same time.
Welcome home.
This is where my home always was. The snow sparkled, almost blinding me. Olya started spinning in a dance. She grabbed a candy with each of her hands. Wolfie juggled Kinder Surprise eggs.
Did you see that?
Consoles, handheld games, dolls, and Transformer figures lay under the spruce as if they were brought here by trucks.
Is this for us?
I realized I was also dancing, so I replied while moving. It's a bit too much for just the two of us. I'd share it with somebody, and what do you think?
Only if somebody nice.
A group of children stood at the edge of the woods, their enchanted gazes directed at our celebration. Hey! I jumped across the whole clearing and glided to the ground near them. Want to come to us?
Okay. I was seeing if these are any of the missing kids that...
Yeah,
But...
they don't look like it.
Yeah.
I've never seen these kids before.
Can we?
Of course! The kids took each other by the hand. I led the procession toward the gifts. There was no better feeling than leading someone on the road to their dreams. The holiday party was finally in full swing. In every holiday, just like a beautiful apple, always sat a nasty little worm called transience. And yet, under the bristly paws of a magnificent spruce, holidays never ended.
Are you happy, Tasha?
I am. Up in the sky, majestic fireworks went off, illuminating the dancing figures. My eyes wetted, my muscles sprung up. I tilted my head backward to look at the moon and screamed at the top of my lungs from overflowing emotion.
Are you happy, Bunny?
I jumped toward the stars and did a flip. All of Neverland could hear my scream. I am happy!
And there's probably one...
For the first time in the long days I'd spent in the new house, I woke up with a smile on my face. Yeah, that's interesting. I bet Olya's gonna be the next missing kid. This time, happiness had a tight grip on me. I stretched, enjoying the sweet sensation with every cell of my body. Outside, I could hear the joyful chirping of beautiful red-chested bullfinches who celebrated the bright January sun. Their chirping granted me hope that the naked forest outside my window would someday turn into a lush paradise for my parents and my little sister. The corridor was filled with dog barks and the patter of tiny feet. The door to my bedroom flew open, greeting me with a warm breeze and the aroma of freshly made coffee. Olya stood in the doorway, shining with happiness, holding the cute Zolka, who wiggled both her body and her tail.
Aww.
Look, Tasha, look! Papa said she can stay.
Tears of joy formed in my little sister's eyes.
I have my own dog now.
I couldn't help but jump up from bed upon hearing this wonderful news. That's Zolka!
Zolka? No, her name is Princess. Right, Your Highness?
The dog barked in agreement.
Knock, knock. Can I come in?
To my complete surprise, Dad stepped through the doorway, smiling and hugging Mom, which was outright bizarre.
What do you think of our new family member? This idiot threw herself under my car. I barely avoided her. I got my car scratched, though I'd choke her with my own 2 hands.
Okay then.
Okay. Then I looked her in the eye, and there I saw, how should I put it? Intelligence? Yeah. And the poor thing was shaking all over. And then I said, all right, if you manage to make it home without soiling my seat, I'll let you stay.
Princess can't soil anything.
We laughed in unison, just like the good old days when every little thing could easily make us burst out laughing.
Well, why don't you stop? Continue with your stories.
Mom gave Dad a cunning look and he turned away, red as a beet. They were acting like total kids.
There's more good news. Your dad got a promotion. I shouldn't exactly be happy about it since the chief accountant went missing in all. But you know, for us it's a silver lining.
Does that mean you'll be away from home more?
That means double the bonus. That's right, Karina. Wait, who said the last one?
Mom.
Oh, that means double the bonus. That's right, Karina. Which means you all should prepare for the family trip next week.
To Disneyland! My heart started beating faster after those words. Where? Olya even loosened her grip on the stray.
Oh, are we going to McDonald's?
It's so cute.
Come on, Olya. Aim higher. We've been planning this trip for a long time, but something always messes it up. You're so sorry. We're so sorry about that, kids.
Mom wiped away a tear with her fist.
It's okay, Katrina. Now it's all in the past. Anyway, gather your things. We're flying to Disneyland.
My sister and I jumped up to the ceiling with joy. The dog also got excited from that passionate speech and joined us. Hooray! Disneyland! Disneyland! Our jubilant screams filled the house, rushed through the attic and the drain pipes, flew across the front yard, and sneaked into the shining white forest, taking the scary D word away with it. I swore that I'll remember this day forever. The day when my parents finally dropped their derisive masks, and underneath them were the faces of parents that we always knew and loved. Lilia Pavlovnova still hadn't returned to school after Katya went missing, so today I was able to get a good night's sleep and went to school when it was already bright outside. The trail led to a snow-white plain with blackened houses in the background. They pumped out gray smoke that carried the smell of birch and pine logs. The freezing cold of the night had finally let up. I fell into slumber under the early sunlight. Ice sparkles appeared on the white caps atop the houses. I stopped, confident that nobody could spoil my good mood today. Not even my personal tormentor, Pyatiffanov, or his nasty crony Biasha. Not even the shining knife that threatened to cut me open like a dead fish. Not even the mix of disdain and pity in Paulina's rare glances. All of that...
Oh, all of that's a dream. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. All of that was gone forever. A cow let out a long moo somewhere in the distance. I fell out of my fleeting daydream and walked forward, crunching with the snow blanket under my soles. Fluffy clouds floated above my head. I recognized the friendly shapes of animal kids in them. Suddenly, a snowball landed on the back of my head. Girlish laughter that reminded me of a small ringing bell in the spring breeze tickled my ears. I turned around, expecting to see her, my lovely guide in the dream world, my dear Alyssa. Yet, instead of a fox girl, Paulina stood on the trodden path behind me, her faithful violin case in hand.
Got your head in the clouds again, huh, Petrov?
She lunged at me with contagious laughter, locking her arms around my neck. I just stood there in awe, drowning in the sweet aroma of her perfume. Did something happen? She flashed me an embarrassed smile. I saw her cornflower-colored eyes gleam.
My grandpa, he can walk again. Can you believe it? The local doctor had no faith in him, but it's like he stood up and started walking just to spite him. Oh, this is the happiest day of my life, Tan.
She dug her face deep into my chest, tightening her grip on my neck as if I was just more than a friend to her. I started looking around, anxious. Paulina? Somebody could see us.
Are you worried about
Pyatiffanov, I think.
Pyatiffanov? Then your worries for nothing. He has not been seen for a while.
Oh, he went missing. I cautiously parted with Paulina, trying to understand whether it was some sort of prank or the truth.
Wait, you don't believe me. The officers,
Lieutenant Tikhonov.
Lieutenant Tikhonov, came to our house just last night. He said that Brunasha, alone with his buddy Renuka, went missing.
A group of skiers glided past us straight into the forest. Paulina leaned into my ear, sharing her whisper with me, her eyes still locked on the skiers.
As far as I know, Tekrva suspects that all of the previous cases were Pyatiffanov's fault.
No way!
I was shocked myself. There are rumors that Renuka, went off the deep end. I mean, I'm not exactly surprised to hear that.
What do you mean?
Haven't you heard? He's from a very terrible family. I don't even want to imagine what had been going on in their home.
Ramka always seemed excessively aggressive to me, always angry at everyone without a good reason. Yeah, I kind of got that feeling from him, too.
Yeah.
Felt kind of bad for the kid. Now, the darkness that he harbored within overflowed into the outside world and led multiple small innocent souls to their demise, as well as his own. It was hard to believe, but the first time I laid my eyes on Ramka, I thought that things would end this way.
Let's move, or we're gonna be late.
Polina grabbed my hand and started running along the village road, accompanied by joyful laughter. With every step, every laugh, and every joke, the warmth I thought I'd forgotten enveloped my heart more and more. The all-consuming feeling of falling in love came back to me, this time for good, it seemed. I tried letting go of Polina's hand near the classroom entrance, embarrassed that our classmates might taunt us. But it was as if Polina didn't care at all. She only gripped my palm even harder while opening the door. And she was right. Now that the cunning Katya, the heartless Ramka, and the sneering Biasha were gone, our class looked as if it was sanitized from parasites. It became friendlier and kinder. I didn't get looks overflowing with hatred anymore. There was nobody to spit a ball of chewed paper at me through an empty shell of a ball pen. I sat at my lonely desk when Polina joined me. I wasn't surprised at all. She was so charming that I could call her my muse. A wave of inspiration hit me, and I couldn't help but pull out my sketchbook. I licked the pencil lead, my eyes glued to my model. She smiled at me again.
What's on your mind?
No worries, a professional at work here. I drafted the shapes of her mesmerizing figure. Well, I mean, she's a girl, she has boobs. You know, I've watched you from here often. She glanced at her former desk, then fixed a strand of hair behind her ear in embarrassment.
Really?
I outlined her cute cheeks with multiple wide lines. It was the first time I was able to grasp somebody's proportions so precisely. Polina.
Yes, Anton?
She froze in place, afraid of disrupting my work with one wrong move and dispelling the magic of the moment. Lean here a bit more, please. Yes, like this. Good. Choking from anxiousness, Polina loosened the knot on her neckerchief. I've always wanted to draw you. Our eyes met. I know, this is so cheesy.
That and also reminds me of Titanic.
Oh,
Draw,
God.
draw me like those.
Christ. These are children, Megan.
Oh, Anton.
This is not making it any better. Okay. My pencil slid across the paper furiously, adding the shading to her chest. Say, would you like to become the main heroine in my comic? Pleasant shivers ran across her body. She rolled her eyes back, enraptured. Oh, he is so having a dream.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes. Yes. I've been waiting for you to ask, darling.
The lead couldn't endure all the tension and cracked, bursting into a million tiny pieces.
His first wet dream.
Yeah, really. I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked at the drawing. Uh-oh. I was looking at a terrible daub, and the place where Polina's face was just a second ago now rested some sort of formless mess. Well, so much for that. It took me some time to realize that I was sitting alone in an empty classroom, with only the specks of dust flying in the moonlight as my company. It was dark outside. My classmates, Polina, the feeling of euphoria, all of them were gone. Somebody wrote down a nursery rhyme on the blackboard with a piece of chalk, but some of the words were wiped out and I can only read bits and pieces. 1, 2. Bunny. Meat. I was no longer smirking like an idiot. I stood up, pinched myself on the wrist. A ringing silence engulfed me. There was a taste of vomit in my mouth, and my ears buzzed like from an endless scream, full of despair and horror. "Hey, is anybody out here?" Shadows swarmed in the corridor. I walked past boarded-up classrooms, past the rotten spots on the walls and the silvery cobwebs. Spiders crawled under the ceiling.
Wow, look how many people are gone.
Yeah, no kidding. Lamps flickered anxiously. I stopped before the notice board, stunned. Hundreds of new photos were added to those of Semyon and Katya. Black and white printouts were glued on top of each other. The horrific collage of childish faces stared at me with empty eye sockets. Unable to endure the torturing stares of those watchful, gaping holes, I ran out of the school.
Even outside.
I crossed the front yard and reached the road where the wind was whipping up powdery snow. This is gonna drive me crazy. Stop blinking. No people, no cars, no birds. Low clouds got stuck on chimneys. Windows that looked like they were painted over with ink. Photos of missing people enveloped lampposts and fences like paper skin. Mostly kids, but some adults too. It felt like all the people who once lived in this village now became black and white ghosts in the photos with person missing labels. I dragged my feet forward along the dead street. Some houses had their windows smashed. The wind made itself at home there, wandering the rooms. Every gust made the front doors swing. Kids' coats hung from the fences. Their sleeves moved, stretched out toward me. An empty village, an empty husk. What happened here? An overthrown waste bin rumbled across the back alley. Something flashed inside the window frames of the charred village store. I ran away from its sooty facade, then heard a guttural roar coming from the well. I started walking faster, trying not to pay any mind to the darkness inside the front yards, inside the bloody doghouses, inside the crooked shacks. The moon appeared from under the clouds. Something flew over my head in this draining silence. As if a crop duster flew from one roof to another, a huge shadow loomed over me. I rushed to the right, hoping that I wasn't noticed. A small green house in front of me was my shelter. I pushed the gate, crouching, and scampered toward the porch. Excuse me. I tugged at the doorknob. The front door was open. A wheelchair rolled out of the darkness, almost hitting me, tumbled down the stairs, clanging with its wheels, and stopped near an apple tree. I followed it with round eyes. I turned my gaze inside the house again. The corridor was obscured by the dark. Empty frames on the walls, glass shards on the floor. Is anybody here? I heard growling in reply. From around the corner at the end of the corridor, a furry paw appeared, and after it, a scary beast face with a pair of hungry, burning eyes. A huge, overweight beast crawled on its belly, writhing like a snake. I could barely fit inside the corridor's mouth. It squeezed forward, clawing at the floorboards. Its maws clanged like a bear trap, inches from my face. The beast got stuck. It banged its paws on the walls, spitting saliva in every direction. I turned around. I needed to get the hell out of this nightmare. A hunchback owl, bigger than an average human, landed near the front gate and stood in my way. Its beak kept on clicking. A snow pile bulged nearby, and something reminiscent of a giant shrew crawled to the outside. I fell to my knees as if praying to these eldritch creatures. A figure draped in a dirty fox scalp crawled out of the dark hole, smiling with all its teeth. Its tail dragged after it, just a piece of vertebrae laced in torn sinew. The creature's bodies became extremely distorted, and I decided I was going insane. They seemed small to me one moment, as small as a child, only to stretch higher than any of the desolate houses the next. Man-eating creatures towered over me. Something kept on writhing in their stomachs as if looking for a way out. The longer they stared at me, the wider their twisted smiles, their death masks became.
He had such a long feast. We had such a long feast.
The mutilated fox taxidermy mouth licked its lips. Its tongue looked like a black centipede, longer than my forearm. The nasty insect ran between the razor-sharp teeth and dropped into the bottomless pit that could swallow the whole world.
Hoot, hoot! Sweet meat, juicy meat. We devour it, and we won't stop.
There was nothing human about their speech. It was all just animalistic growls and bird-like wheezes. But I was able to understand every word as if we were speaking the same language.
It's a shame you couldn't catch up with us, Bunny. You couldn't bite the moon.
You stole my food, traitors.
You refused to eat your family, remember?
But
Hoot hoot. Pathetic meat. Worthless meat. You are absolutely useless, brother. You make me sick. Grrr, shame, shame.
indescribable horror gripped me when the laughing beasts held their clawed paws toward me. Then, suddenly, the thing that pretended to be a fox started barking loudly.
Fools! It's his time to bring the treats. Good for grr, nothing grr. Hoot, hoot! Let him fulfill his mission. We'll be waiting for some meat from you tomorrow night, or else. Or else. Or else. Or else. Or else we'll eat your entire family.
The monsters formed a circle around me and started dancing. I screamed. Huge eyes, fangs, claws flashed in front of me, blurring into a string of colorful spots and smudges. 1, 2, time to play with you.
3, 4, 5, the owl will rise. 6, on him the wolves break, 4 will stand. 7, 8, stomp your hooves in the wave.
A fox face protruded from the fuzzy lights that the beastly caresses turned into.
For the fox and for the bear, Bunny takes meals. Prepare.
A desperate cry, my cry, rumbled across the back streets of the desolate village. I will prepare! The circle broke up and I ran for my life. It felt like I was running into a snare trap. My head was splitting. Ugly images danced inside it, colliding, falling over, getting up and dancing again. 1, 2... They flapped their wings, poking my face with their beaks and their salivating maws. 3, 4, 5... They howled and jumped around, and my eardrums were ready to pop, either from their screams or for the internal pressure that fractured my skull from within. 6... My winter hat obscured my vision, and it seemed like the whole sky tilted, like a roof that's about to collapse.
7,
8... Snow crumbled from the sky like plaster. I ran through the empty streets, through the icy world, chased by a pack of beasts. Yet I couldn't see anybody when I turned around. I shut my eyes and I hopped away from the ritual dance that went on inside my flared-up mind. I squeezed my ears with my palms to suppress the noise. I just wanted to stop my head from cracking open. The sunrise found me deep inside the forest. Wow.
Completing episode 4. We're deeply grateful for everything who purchased the game in early access. All the profits go towards further development for the game.
Okay, so it's not over yet.
No, I guess not.
Cool. Oh, that's so cool. This was a really interesting story.
Yeah. Squeaky.
Yeah, really. So I'm hoping that he's able to stop them.
Hopefully. Unless that was his dream and he thought he was having a horrible nightmare because of all the candy he ate.
Yeah, the drug candy.
And hopefully his sister's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have a feeling that Olya's gonna die by the end of this, but...
Hopefully not. He might.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright, so that's Tiny Bunny episode...
4.
Well,
It was episode 4, wasn't it?
Was it 3 through 4?
Yeah, 3 through 4.
So... That was a really good game. Hopefully there'll be more episodes.
We'll keep our eyes open, because that was really fun. We'll have to catch Beast up when he pops back up.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's it for this game for now. And hopefully there'll be more, and we'll be able to play some more. I hope you enjoyed the game. I'm Mega Anime.
And I'm Sylvie Sommers, signing off.
You stay creative, stay spooky, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!